Phantasmagoria 1. Other one was this. Haha. Yeah, it's funny, it has two names. Other one is that I'm using as my topic is Missing Presumed, but Mortally Bites the other name. Well, this is a great one. I don't know. I like the second game. It was really beautiful game when it came out. The art style is great, of course, nowadays when you look at it. The animation is a bit janky. But the humor is in the... Yeah, but I've seen the Missing Presumed also. It has two names, I think. I think that it was like a other name was in Europe, other one was in States. But the problem that I hate about Discworld 2 more than the one, this has maybe because of Eric Idle. This has too much like Monty Python jokes. They are just, you know, running too much with Eric Idle. But maybe that's the reason why we have the song at the beginning, because when you talk about Eric Idle, you get a guy who likes to sing, and he sings too much. Oh. But yeah, Seeker, now because of the trade of yours, now I wanna play Punch Out.
And he had some kind of animal, I think. Possibly it was humorously vegetable. And it showed us possibly a parsnip or a cucumber. I don't know. I can't remember the words. They were really... Now I can't remember that either.
That was one of the parts.
Something's clever and short. Damn, it's like what you make.
This takes more from the Morty book.
I can't say that the phrase of mine was tinny. Ironic, maybe.
Mort, yeah.
Yeah. Pithy, that's the word. The song was really pithy.
Great book, by the way.
I don't know which song. What are you going on about songs for? Hey, what was that? Over there, in the donkey cart park.
Nice.
No, it was something. Let's go and see. No, it's not dangerous. It's the start of the game. They can't kill us off yet. Come on, trust me. All I'm gonna do is look.
Maybe
This is a pretty poor job. I think I can dismantle it.
yeah, well, that's a classic. Had to watch the Color of Magic BBC TV movie like last week.
Don't sweat it, pal. We've got 9 minutes and 7 seconds left.
That's a great one, by
You
the
know
way.
what we could do? We could drive this thing
If you
out of it.
if you think about BBC quality, that movie is one of those.
Donkey. Oh, you could pull it. Yeah, you're right, you're right. Looks like we're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. Couldn't be simpler. I'm thinking we should turn the green flask. What do you think? Maybe the red? Let's turn the green flask then. It's just a hunch. Remember the time in the high energy facility when I turned the yellow flask and blew everything up? Right, so I'm turning the red flask then. What? Did I say green? Well, I meant red. Look, we can do it your way if you... Look, I'm sure, okay? You ready? Aren't you going to miss all this stuff when they stop making these games? Aren't you just going to miss it all? I'm turning the flask.
Yes, yes, I'm gonna.
There, you see? Uh-oh.
And they stopped making these games.
Grab the cat, gangway! Take cover!
They did stop making these games.
Well, the animation budget's increased at least. Well, of course that's a good thing. It means they haven't spent as much on plot, doesn't it? They've probably halved the number of insane object puzzles for a start. Sorry, I mean clever lateral thinking exercises, of course.
No.
Trust me, I've been through this sort of thing before.
Self-irony. And now we have it.
There's a place you're always welcome.
Well,
That's as nice as it can be.
that would be a great parody movie.
Everyone can get in, 'cause it's absolutely free. That's death. No need to take a breath.
Yeah, this is a catchy song.
Just lie around all day with not a single bill to pay. Hooray, that's death. No more sicknesses or blues.
Yeah, best game. Great already.
If you live beyond your means, you can die beyond them too. Boo-hoo. Well, the greatest and the finest have already died. Why not simply join them on the other side? That's death. Say farewell to all your bills. Rip up all your wills. And pop your final pills. Amen. That's death. It's a tete-a-tete with fate. If you're not feeling great, then it's the best way to lose weight. Mate. Nothing here to hurt you.
Like I said, Eric Idle.
No one's here to nag. Come die with me if your life's a drag. That's death. For wealthy and well-bred, all of them are here, and they're all completely dead. That's death. No more headaches, no more pain. Of the millions who died, no one came back to complain. You can't take it with you. You can't keep what you've got. So why not just lie back and simply rot?
Oh, nice.
Simply rot.
What cake?
Cool, it's hot.
What kind of cake? Chocolate cake? Throwing rocks from afar, Terry Pratchett. Yeah.
Colleagues, gentlemen, and fellow wizards. Here's looking at your bottom.
Nice.
Up your eye. Huh. pull the other one.
Sounds nice.
It's got strange knobbly bits on.
Happy Hogswatch Day.
Thank you.
Should try it myself.
Colleagues, we are gathered here today for the final departure party of our dear, soon-to-be departed comrade, the wizard Windle Poons.
Hooray!
Good old Windle, don't forget to go straight.
And you can hear that
3, 2, 1, 0.
the sequel has a much better audio quality for the voice acting.
What?
Nothing. That's it, I hope. Right, everybody. Our funeral at 2:30, then drinks and ham rolls in the main hall at 3. Hiya! What's happening? Call this service, do you? I'm dead, I am. I demand to be taken away to a better life, as per contract. Oi, things were different in my day. You died properly, not like the deaths you get nowadays.
So British.
He says he's not dead.
I am dead, but I'm still bloody ambulatory. No, you're not. You're fooling no one but yourself, you know.
Well, he looks dead.
Smells dead, of course. He always did, though. And I
Aw.
suppose my word doesn't count for anything around here. I can't be dead if I'm still talking, now can I? Look, old
But yeah, I don't like
are considered
old
professional
basic
that you
cakes like that
are
has
an
whipped cream.
wizard.
But cheesecakes are
Your
okay.
opinion doesn't count because you're dead.
Cheesecakes are okay.
Yeah, good point. Well, I suppose I'll just sit here then, shall I? I suppose it takes a while. So, how is death, actually? See any, white lights, you know, tunnels, girls with harps? Oh, yes, please. I'll take 2. No? If this is heaven, I wish I'd done wicked things when I was alive. What's happening to me?
Hey Wolfie,
Seems that your
how's it
body's
going?
dead, but your soul
How's it going?
still in
How's your Saturday?
residence. Well, I'm not hanging about here for the rest of my afterlife. I've had a hard life, Arch-Chancellor. I'm entitled to a bit of paradise. I've read about it. Young women and wine and whatnot. Look, your life's over. You're not supposed to moan about it. And definitely not supposed to contemplate any whatnot.
Great to see 80 build just got the evil program. Oh nice.
This is outrageous.
I think I need an EV Pro programmer myself also. I have some couple of projects that need it.
It's unhygienic.
Well,
There's food laid out. We can't have him near.
not that hard to make basically, if my memory's correct, but need to get the parts for that.
Yes, good point. Now compose yourself, Windle. You can't decompose here. I shall have to ask you to move along. Oh, come to something when a man can't even drop stone dead in peace. Eternal rest, is it? Well, I'm not to take this lying down. I'm off to find myself a nice shallow grave.
Oh. Now he's a zombie. Yeah. Nobody is going to afterlife. Undead wizard. What could go wrong
There's
here?
been too much of this sort of thing lately. Rincewind? Rincewind!
PIO video chip, okay.
Ah, Rincewind. There you are. Now, as you're aware,
Well-
there have been some very odd goings on in this city.
I have a couple of modding
I am
projects in the near
referring,
future.
of course, to the sudden disappearance of death.
Example, I need to mod like Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance with audio mods and also new screens
They're dead.
with like AV output, so we can
Same
use
time.
those
And
on my
now
streams.
it's happened to poor Windle.
But I don't remember.
Death's gone, and we need to summon him back.
Was there any
So,
good Game Boy
there you
Color
go.
games?
We need to perform the
And don't
rites
say
of
Pokemon.
Ashcant.
I suppose you have a list of
Yeah,
mysterious
brother.
ingredients that I now have to run off and collect.
What?
That's it.
How did you know that?
I just had a dreadful
Original
suspicion.
Game Boy.
All right, so what have we got to find?
Well, it's a rush job, so just the bare minimums will do. We need 3 equal-sized sticks of
Yeah.
wood and 4 cc's of mouse's blood.
Well, I have
It
15 of
shouldn't take
those.
you more than a few
Pardon,
minutes.
3. Yeah, okay, yeah, that one.
What is it now?
Because usually when people talk about Game Boy Color, they talk about Pokemon games.
Not to say that I'm questioning your judgment. I'm just,
Shantai. Was Shantai on? Yes, no, yes it was.
Flesh and style.
That's true,
This is a
Sega.
death rite after all. You know the routines. A bit of sparkle and glitter in the air, vile Charles stench erupting from the tomb, and
Ah, that's
lovely
true.
dribbly candles. That sort of thing.
none of which we'll need at all.
That's right. Just the wood and the mouse's blood.
There never seems to be any way of getting a decent moment's rest around this place.
That's a cheap game. That's a cheap game, that Shantai, the original version. People are selling like the original version of Shantai
The right stuff.
loose cartridges, you know, not box or anything. Like Shantai Game Boy Color Nintendo from eBay, 834 euros plus shipping. Lufia, Oh, TZIBUs.
Scaz. Essentially the sort of man who carefully
Oh.
files away family photographs as his sole means of recreation.
What's skating Game Boy Color game?
Scaz. Ah, hello there.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Was it? Maybe it was Color game.
You are?
Scaz, that's a name I have. Yeah, right.
Oh, lovely. Well, that's this conversation not to a good start then. What are you doing here?
Resident Evil Gaiden. Was it Color game?
Just answer the question.
You know.
Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid was a Color game.
You know. I mean, what are, like, you know.
Yes, they made a Metal Gear Solid for Game Boy.
You know, actually do.
Not even for Game Boy Advance, but
Does make
Game Boy Color.
Yes.
what?
What
Okay.
doing in this room?
Oh, right, yeah. Well, working.
Let's see the
you know,
price for that.
on this new magical engine for working things out. It
Resident Evil Gaiden.
you know, by
Let's check it.
working them
Price.
out. It crunches numbers into little bits. We,
PAL version loose. 87.
heck,
88 bucks.
well, cause in the working things out engine business,
Hmm.
everything has got to have like a 3-letter name.
88 bucks.
Understand all the words.
What?
Somehow, when I look at you, I feel that a three-letter name just isn't enough.
What? I
Hmm.
don't understand.
Really? That's astonishing. It really is. What are all these leggy little objects?
And Shantai original version loose price $627.
Yeah, amp. Got legs.
Complete
Outfits on
$2,000.
You get them in sandwiches at picnics, ants. That's what they're like.
Let's not do anything this month. I wanna play Shantai.
Be aware of the existence of ants. What I want to know is why you have them running freely about the innards of a complex.
Yeah, they did that.
Ah, they're in fact,
That's why the prices are so high with those games.
you know, very cunning plans. You see,
They were like a really limited
mining hex,
prints.
like we worked out that what with it all being so new and everything, and that'd mean people would be complaining the whole like time. Every time it wouldn't work.
I'm not complaining. That game has a great animations,
Bugged in the machine.
if you know what I mean.
So why?
And of course the gameplay isn't bad. It's a
Alright,
surprisingly
well,
good, you know,
cunning bit
platformer. Well, is it?
we thought what
Or-
we'd do is
bugs in right at the start. So
But
there's
they
no
they
room
did
for
those
them
like
to go.
limited run editions.
Amazing. And somehow so
They're a bit cheaper, but they are like original.
We don't call them bugs anymore. Call them creatures. Then, if a problem occurs,
Now I wanna play Punch Out.
say, no, it's not a bug. It's just an and the whole system relies on them now. They race about inside there, opening up little gates, closing, running about in little wheels, you know, dragging bits of information from one storage bin
Not
into
bits, but
another.
bugs.
I'm not so sure about that.
They seem to like it. We found the machine works if you put living things in, see. We put in a mouse the other day, and it worked really fast when we put some RAM in, until they butted their way out.
Do you ever, how shall I put this, lose any amps?
It's funny you mentioned that. It was only like yesterday when I lost 100 of my best. It was awful.
Oh yeah,
Machine was
the
like
technology
so
and science in Discworld books are just wacky. Yeah. But there's something else. Blue. Yeah, that's like
Hey man, you've like broken it now.
yeah, it just works, you know.
All the ants have run away. You've like debugged it.
Debugged. Oh. Juvi said that next week they're gonna release, what was that, bolt gun, like a Warhammer retro FPS game. That looked fun. But cost like 20 euros. Well, 16 euros if I buy from Humble Bundle, but no, this is the place.
I don't think I should.
Pop, pop. Wasn't there? Oh, there was these ones. I remember you had to find that imp. Imp.
I'm already
Ah, here. Gimp. Gimp. Sports. Metallic shoes.
So this is the university compost heap. Everyone always goes on about recycling as though it's such a thrill. It's a load of rot. I mean, think about it. You're encouraging the breeding of a vast mound of bacteria in your own home. Surely the one in your sock drawer is good enough for you.
Oh. Librarian. Shop. Yeah.
Wandering shop. No one knows why. But all the most truly mysterious and magical items are brought from shops that appear and, after a trading life even briefer than a double glazing company's, vanish like smoke. They can turn up wherever there's a suitable stretch of blank wall. But once there, they have always been there.
That's markets.
Dust and grime and a general worn look instantly dispel any doubts in the minds of people who may have walked down that same street.
The narrator is
for
great,
23
like in the
years
first game.
without noticing it. There are three general theories to explain the phenomenon of wandering shops. One, many thousands of years ago, there evolved somewhere in the multiverse a race whose single talent was to buy cheap and sell dear. Two, they are the creation of a sympathetic fate, charged with the role of supplying exactly the right thing at the right time.
Gimpy.
Three, they are simply a very clever way of getting around the various Sunday closing acts. All these theories have two things in common.
Compost socks
Explain
back in.
known facts, and they are completely
Really?
and utterly wrong.
Why? Why? That is that is just awful.
Just what I've always wanted. I don't suppose I can have it then.
Why not? It's yours.
Ugh.
You only had to ask.
Don't tell me that your classmate did the same thing with like underwear. Yeah, I don't know.
That looks nice. Can I have it then?
Certainly.
What? No mumbo jumbo?
I don't
no
know,
sudden
you know.
insistence that I go on a special quest or anything?
What? Me? Order a princess about? Whatever.
Hard to say, you know. I usually try to, you know, not to say that somebody has mental illnesses, but you know,
No, can't meet.
that just feels like a
That looks interesting. Could I possibly have it then?
Certainly.
Candles? You do candles?
Yes, Your Royal Highness. I make them by hand.
Ugh.
Well, I would.
Crusty socks.
But everyone just uses
I can believe that he took the socks and they were like
don't really
hard as hell and
those anymore.
hit them next on the table, corner of the table, and
Make me some if you had the
just, you
chance.
know,
Oh yes, love.
ugh.
Just need you to bring me the raw materials. Now your grade A
Why, man? Why?
It's made from dead whales. We used
Why?
to use their nasal hairs, but these days a true pure white candle is made from spermaceti.
Where does that come from?
A dead eye. The next best
Yeah, you know.
is beeswax.
They're like,
Beeswax, right.
We used to have a
I'm gonna leave these socks for my these socks are gonna run through my, you know, family,
the job
to
done.
my children, my children's children, and children's children.
Down in little chairs, give them all a
The holy socks of
way to their hearts.
+5 damage.
Someone pointed out that all we had to do was open up the hive.
The unmovable socks of damage or something like that.
Buzzers had been having us on.
Those great Dungeons and Dragons
You just can't trust a bee, can you?
magic items.
Just what I always say, Your Royal Highness.
Oh, stop it.
Oh yeah.
No. Let's just leave him.
Wait a minute.
Can.
Ah, yeah, I need item. We already talked.
Sorry.
But yeah, maybe today Thursday poll is gonna be really like tight at the moment. Oh,
Popcorn!
good old Tippler.
Popcorn! Do it yourself popcorn! Just add heat and butter and maybe a frying pan. Also served with
Yeah, I
chemical
also hope that Anaxonox wins.
or
I also hope.
sinkers. Come and get it while
Because
it's
I
still
feel
in stock.
that game has
Only
been on the
one
list like from the
previous, or
beginning.
let it go for less than market price, and that's cutting me own throat.
I really hope that game wins because, you know, that's one of those games that I have fond memories.
Clickies? Just what Ankh-Morpork needed, eh?
Exactly.
Yeah. For you, irony means sort of like iron, doesn't it? So we're into clickies now, are we? At last, the monkey has found the banana plantation.
Yep, moving pictures. Here, have a read of this.
Odium.
Clickies. Oh, now there's romance for you. Hot dogs, popcorn, drink stands,
50
the
foot
merry
dwarf.
rumble of candy rolling down the aisles.
And the shows. Don't forget the actual clickies themselves.
What?
Clickies.
Oh yeah. I mean, the shows go without saying. Chocolate dipped ice cream, novelty drinking cups, collectible lobby cards.
I don't believe this. You mean to tell me that art has to take a second place to cheap licensing and marketing? Well, I can tell you that I'm above that sort of thing. Catch me being involved in some damn licensing scam? Ha! Fat chance. The last thing I'd ever do is allow myself to become involved in a shabby marketing ploy designed to use a famous name to sell a product which is in itself utterly devoid of any real... Right. Well, good luck with the career and I'll be off.
Did we mention the range of pewter figurines and exciting t-shirts this time? Shh.
Aww.
I think you might be
Popcorn!
Oh, the humor. It's going too much with the Eric Idle joke.
Popcorn! And butter and... Oh,
Yeah, this has the pop.
popcorn! Oh, cut out on pop...
And most of it's basically just
Don't knock me
stupid
back
like
until
puns
you've
and
seen the goods, sir. Smashing stuff. Fine popping grains lovingly swept from the warehouse floor.
Why's he got little rat's hairs mixed up all through it?
Just keeping the grains warm, sir. An added extra and no additional charge.
Oh, all right then. Anything to keep you quiet.
cut me throat.
Popcorn!
Shades.
Oh, hello. And what in the world are you? Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Well, I didn't understand a word of that at all. Sorry.
They look nice. Millennium. And shrimp.
In your trumpet, millennium hand and shrimp. Below that, was there something new?
Those are boots you're cooking, aren't they?
Prime boots with stench. They smell like shoes, you know. Gotta have
Spare a
lots of
gold
boots
piece.
to maintain
I use transport guts for scent.
scent.
Ugh.
There's plenty for everyone.
Ugh. Nah, I'm not gonna talk to these guys. Just gonna steal these. Duckman. Donald Duckman. Oh, which?
Can't answer that, doesn't Granny Weatherwax. A tough lady.
Oh, Granny.
The beauty sleep she so obviously needs.
Oh, Granny.
I guess this is the bucket they all kick before they go.
The humor. Oh. Mrs. Cake.
I better ask her. No, I don't. I have a nasty feeling that this skull motif will come up a lot later on.
Some items here that we can take. Petticoat. Oh. I don't know. Did Prince didn't ever have any luck with women. Or men, I don't remember. I don't remember. Or was no, sorry, he's a wizard. Wizard can't have like a that kind of relationships. Of course. Always forget. Because that's what was that rule? Seventh son of seventh son is gonna be that like what was it called? Like a person that has like a national magic in them. No worry.
A genie bottle, eh? Obviously a good home for big.
Is it? Oh, I haven't been outside.
Hello there. Nice day, eh?
What? How dare you?
A.
Look, I believe you're fouling up this whole conversation.
What do you mean? How do I do it?
I just don't believe the hash you're making of a simple conversation. How are you managing to do it?
Ooh, yes, that's what I am. Why, does it show?
Yes.
She's talking like she already knows what I'm going to say. Is she a clairvoyant?
Well, it's nice to start all over again. I'm sorry about all that. Sometimes I forget I've left it on, you see.
Hello there. Nice day. Oh, damn it, we're back here again.
Eh? Oh, sorry, I forgot to turn my precognition off. There we are. That should be much easier.
Might I borrow that genie bottle you have on the shelf up there?
I tell you what, you can have the bottle, but only if you get me some nice fresh ectoplasm.
Ectoplasm? What? That stuff that drips down walls? Sort of ghostly goo?
That's the stuff. Nice and slippery.
Won't the wallpaper get all sticky?
That's what the punters want these days, dear. They don't think you're a proper psychic unless there's ectoplasm sloshing all over the place.
Aww.
Where does ectoplasm come from anyway?
Ooh, you can wring it out of spirits if you can catch them. Squish it out of them like wringing laundry.
But there's a lot shorter game than the first one. With the first game, if you remember, it was like what? First time I played it on stream like a couple of years ago, it took like 6 hours. Now last week when we did it, it was 5 hours. Whew. So. Oh. Yeah, Living Dead. Play what? No, not here. Full skilled, yeah. Oh, fool.
Why is it everyone else toddles off to heaven or hell and you two get to hang around here?
Chucky, 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 chuck, chuck, chuck. I'm stuck. Stucky.
You can't leave. I mean, you're
Aw.
dead, but not gone before. You're
Chuck.
haunting.
No, death hasn't come for us yet.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Chucky can't leave the Guildhall stones and mortar. Not even for
Chucky,
Stuart.
Chucky, Chuck.
Yours? What's yours?
Oh, a pint of lager and roast boar crisps, thanks. Oh, chucky, 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 chucky.
You're right. You are the ghost of old jokes.
Aww.
No, chucky, chucky, chucky.
But you're dead. You quit life's stage. You're resting.
Chucky wants to be the ghost of old jokes past. Being dead is
Where's Avatar? Yeah.
flowers. Oh, chucky, chucky, chucky.
Avatar handles even like coast. Black Sword.
Now pay attention.
Attention, yes,
You said that you have to
I try to remember Ultima 7. Was Black Sword that
yes.
Well, is there any reason why you have to
you can basically kill almost everybody with that weapon?
with them? You could just
But was there someone you cannot kill?
I'll take you somewhere more interesting.
Interesting, yes.
Are you listening to me?
No. Oh, ho, ho.
Yes.
Chucky, chucky, chucky.
Just get into the damn stone.
Ho, ho. Chucky, chucky, chucky.
Yes, you can kill Lord Pretties and everything, but yeah, I know. But was there anything that it doesn't? Was there anything that it doesn't kill? I try to remember. Oh, oh no, you can kill Lord Priest, yeah. Yeah, it was like that. Everybody else is killable. But do you remember the old story in the back in the day when Ultima Online was a really big thing? And the great thing about that game was the real Lord British played that and everybody else. And some people somehow had a plan that they somehow killed Lord British when there was like a big happening where he was meeting people. I don't remember how did they do it. It was like they found a bug or something like that and they used it and killed Lord British, and after that it was like everybody was killed and the game was locked and was it by? So I'm not gonna kill. That's just stupid. If you bring that kind of item into the game, it's like the Armageddon spell. Come on, kills everybody except Lord British. Oh, what do we have here?
Great. Hey, there's the milkmaid. Quite a flattering angle, really.
So bring rot poison from the tutorial. Great game planning. Ooh.
Miss? Are you alright? Should I stop now?
No, keep it going a little longer. My agent always said I needed more exposure.
Oh. Milkmaid. Oh. Indeed.
No. Don't you know it's wrong to mix spirits?
Mixed spirits. Wrong to mix spirits. And with this game, I'd say that the world just seems much smaller. Because you don't see the whole city and
Here, take it and choke.
Why do I wanna play Ultima now? I don't know why. Because Ultima is great. I already did Ultima 5.
Good idea. It may hide the smell.
Wild smell. Ultima kartta.
Thanks. I wonder if I'll ever be...
Do you remember back in the day when they showed like really early pictures of Ultima 9? If my memory is correct, the characters looked like really like an anime kind of, and really beautiful back in the day. Yeah, they were like straight from like, I don't know, my memory is hazy about this, but maybe they looked not as good back then, but if I look them now, but somehow I have the same feeling when you like watch like Ultima Final Fantasy 13 tracks or something like that. Ultima 9 coming soon. Yeah, it did came. It came.
Aha, a menu. I wonder what they serve here. Let's see what we have here. Roasted in the bowl, roasted in the bag, live roasted on brochette, and
Mystical Machine Gun, how are you, my man?
with shallots, truffles, and small potatoes. Oh, damn, they only serve that one on alternate Tuesday.
Great man from down under. Mystical Machine Gun, by the way, plays great retro games, so I recommend following him if you like. And Chill Guy, how are you, man? What did you play?
Gimli. Here's a dwarf who knows he thinks it's a greeting. Still, at least his
What
shirt
was
runs
your
with
game
extra sort of menu.
of the day? Poison of today. I remember when I followed Mystical Machine Gun, he was playing those what were those? Mega Drive RPGs, those Fantasy Stars. Metal Gear Solid 4. It was a movie. Yeah, it was a movie night. I remember back in the day, in 2009 or something like that, when I got PlayStation 3 and Metal Gear Solid 4. I was like the end part of the game. I was like, okay, I watched this one cutscene and then I'm gonna go out. The goddamn cutscene lasts like what 45 minutes or something like that. It was.
Hey there, sir.
Why,
Hey
Kojima?
there. What can I cook for you? We got the meals for
Why are you doing this to me?
Price menu and everything come with a
Yeah.
What's on the menu?
Oh,
I don't know what was with like Kojima back in the day. He had some kind of like thing for eggs sunny side up.
You're dishing out rodents?
Not just any old
Like-
ones, sir. Big fat ones. Prime
Come on,
super,
man!
sir.
Create movies, not games.
No finer in Ankh-Morpork.
I think about like
Operation
now we only get like walking simulators from him.
And then the words just fly out. Oh,
Even though I would really love to see what kind of Silent Hill game they had made.
Prepared, sir.
Rodents
But they never got it.
prepared? How?
I always wash my hands after touching them, sir.
That would be what?
Can't say fairer than that. All right then.
Mouse burger.
One extra rare mouse burger.
Right, sir.
Yeah, I remember playing the PT. I had to wonder, do I have PT on my PlayStation 3 still? Because you cannot download it anymore, but did I download it already?
There you are, sir.
That was spooky. That was spooky. That was really spooky. But you know, I don't know. I would have fun, wanted to see what kind of game they had made. Yeah, it was let's say one of the best, like let's say secret game trailer. Like nobody knew at the beginning what the hell is this teaser. Yeah, teaser basically. But it was playable teaser, PT playable teaser. So I wonder how long did it take the first guy or Cal, I don't know who the one was, but who found the ending of the PT. But everybody was thinking, oh, this is a nice small game, but suddenly it was a teaser. And then suddenly a lot of people started to make like a PT clones. There was like one bigger project I remember that Konami came and said that cease and desist. Oh, that was shame. That was shame. Okay, so. But you know. But hey, thank you so much once again for the raid, Mystical Machine Gun. Nice to see you. Yeah, well, it's a PD clone. Well, basically it's a PD clone.
Here. Oi. I said I'll have
But with the longer runs.
Come back here. Don't you know
Yeah,
who I am?
well, yeah.
I am Casananda, the second greatest lover who ever lived, and the ladder salesman extraordinaire. Come back.
Come back. Oh la la. Yeah, no. It was well made. You cannot, complain about that.
So, what does the world's second greatest lover do with his time?
Oh, I'm always looking for
Yeah, I know.
challenges, sir. I look at it as my duty to bring
I don't know.
romance and step
I like horror, but basically I hate those games that you cannot do anything. You basically just run from the monster. Like example, like Amnesia games, or like the Silent Hill. What was that Wii game? Walking, running sim. Yeah, you know, but that suddenly there's some kind of monster that kills you, and the only thing that you can do is run away from it. I just hate those. Shattered Memories, yeah. The idea of Shattered Memories as a plot, as a story, and etc. was nice, but you have to run. Yeah, that one, yeah. Ugh. Ah.
This ladder of yours.
Before Amnesia, there was the Penumbra games. Ugh.
It allows the lover of a reduced
Can't do anything and just hide and run away. Oh, look.
That's quite enough of that. Now look, I need a ladder. Can you get me one?
No, I only have one. And
What was that?
For my romantic adventures. Introduce me to a beautiful woman.
Ugh, annoying games.
A wild woman, a fair and beauteous
He's a sexy man.
And the ladder shall be yours.
I hope it comes wash and wear. I've found your perfect woman, I think. Or, to put it more accurately, I have found your greatest challenge. She's over in the mortuary.
You mean she's dead?
She doesn't seem to think so.
Hey, that's good enough for me.
Wow. Crows. Yep. Welcome to Discworld II. Have you played this game, Mystical?
What will it be, lady?
Greetings to you, my good man. And who might you be?
Damn, Eric Idle.
Who? You. I'm asking you what your name is. Who are?
Yeah, I like the books. The books are great, but the problem is that I read those like in
Just tell me what alcohol
10,
you have to drink. And by that,
20 years ago.
either eat through the glass bottle, serves as
Should
most
read them
of
again.
sentient protozoa, or ends me up in any
Then-
obscure, farcical little problems with chaos theory and butterflies.
The idea when you talk about something that happened like 20 years ago and you were adult 20 years ago. Ugh, I feel old. It was great back in the day when you said like 20 years ago and you were like
Brilliant. You can't tie
underage
shoes, but you
kid.
can specify microorganisms. There's one for the education system. All right, give me one very alcoholic drink combined with sentient rotifers.
You want I should make it.
Yeah, I was 20 years ago. I was what, 19. So you are basically you are 1 year older than I am. Next year I'm gonna be 40.
Mixing is long dead.
Well, every morning when I look at the mirror, I know I'm getting older. It's safe, by the way. Yeah, that's true. The games ain't retro, we are retro. Retro players. Oh. But then. Oh, that's a big fish. Excuse me.
Despite what you may want, I can't really hang myself off this hook.
Aww. Aww. But hey, how is the weather, by the way, down there? It's been really warm here for like a Finnish Scandinavian May weather. Warm, like what, 21 Celsius. Cold, wet, getting in the middle of... Oh yeah, you have winter now. Of course. Because summer is starting here. Of course, it's winter over there. It's like upside down. Planets, you know. Science. And we are getting like a... Basically the summer starts on June here. It's June, July, August. It's all like a summer season.
Alcohol soaked corn. This should give something a decent hangover.
Nice and chills. Well, not sure. You have summer like what? December? I believe. So a bit different Christmas. Yeah, when we have like December here is like the darkest time. So it's like cold. It's cold and dark. And summer is, but it's a weird area where we, well, not the area where I live. I should go like a more northern Finland, and there's like a during December and during winter there's like many months that sun never rises up, and during summer there is, I don't know how long it was, but there is a season where the sun never goes down in the northern Finland, and that's like, why not? It's like, well,
Nice sock.
this. But yeah, it's funny how it works basically. When we have like a summer, you have a winter, but you know, planet. It's something that I always forget that I think, but many times, maybe too many times. Last time I played this on stream, it was during the years when I streamed in Finnish. So I've been lately thinking I'm gonna play those games that I did like a couple of years ago and do them in English. So that's true, yeah, that's true. I love point and clicks. I remember, you know, basically my childhood and youth was point and clicks. I used so much of my time with these kind of games. Had so much fun though. Sierra was really great back in the day. I played some Sierra games. I think the first Sierra game I played was Larry 1 on Amiga 500. Nice. Well, Jack McCracken, I know that this isn't a popular point of view, opinion basically. To me, Jack McCracken is my favorite LucasArts game. Don't ask why. I owned it back in the day on Amiga 500. I remember getting the big box and it had all the stuff in it. And I remember it felt back in the day that you could do anything in that game, because you know you hadn't seen a game where you can like go in the store, buy stuff, fly all around the world and stuff like that. So it just felt like a wow. How can there be this kind of game? A bit too much. Yeah. You know, well, there were too many games back then that you know they wanted to add some game time with using mazes. But I love. The characters are great. The plot is great, and the humor is great. I like it. It has many good jokes. Even more than like Manic Mansion is a great game, but I don't know. Jack is. It has that wackiness, you know. More Manic Mansion has wackiness, but different kind of wackiness. And you have to like have a tinfoil hat when you play that game. Yes, it is. Yes, sure is. And in a way, I'm happy that they never did like a sequel for that Jack, because when I get older, I've been, you know, enjoying more about with movies and TV series and games that the story is like short, compact, and good, and not like with many that nowadays when they just make sequel, and the whole thing just, you know, goes bad. Okay, what did we do next? But I remember there was like some fan-made sequels, German-made for Jack and Maniac Mansion.
Keep loving them bees,
Yes, there was.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Yes, there was. Yeah, now I remember. There was like German, but they were in German language, so couldn't play them.
Dangerous. You need the right equipment, see? A veil, smoke, that kind of thing.
Oh, come on,
Oh,
they're not
bees.
that dangerous, are they?
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Last fellow here, he tried to
Jack McCracken, and Jack McCracken has a really great intro song
of the bee queen.
Really?
As the
that just, you know, gets stuck in your head.
up there collecting pollen day and night just for the privilege of seeing her mandibles crease up in a smile, sir. Awful the degradation he got put through, sir.
Oh, God, it must have been horrible.
Yes, sir. The pollen made me say something
Yeah.
awful.
I think
Well, Maniac Man also has a great one.
buzz off.
Should buy the. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that I should get the NES version of Maniac Mansion.
Look, can
That-
I have some wax
that's a
out
bit
of the big
different.
knife, or do I have to get tough?
Tough? What? Go in there and fight the queen herself?
No, I mean get tough with you. You know, threaten. Offer violence.
But Day of the Tentacle was a really good
Magic
sequel.
powers, that sort of thing.
Those strange games that had basically better sequels than the original one. Well, okay, Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones Fate of Atlantis is much better than the original one
Oh, that
as a game.
a novelty.
You no one but
Even though it
yourself
has an
alone,
original
sir.
story, they made it so well that.
See you later.
And the puzzles are great in Indiana Jones. What else do we have? Oh yeah, I should play the Dig, not Dig, soon. That was a beautiful game. Oh, hot. Yeah, that's true.
Look, here's something that may interest you.
That's true.
You seem to know all about bees.
Unless, you know,
Why don't you make a clicky about them? You could then pass on all your knowledge, so to speak.
those later, yeah,
You know, you may just
Maniac, sorry, not Maniac Mansion, Monkey Islands, Monkey Island 4. It was made by LucasArts. That was really good. Don't touch the bees. No, I'm not hurting. You know, you have to use incense so they got a bit high. A smoke. Is it? It's. I think it's a normal way. I have never. I remember one of my when I was in elementary school. And it, one of the teachers, was it like a rector, like the head of the school? He had like basically a bee farm in his backyard. And I remember why we once visited his home and he showed the bee farm. Just it's a trap. It's cool. No, Parta Hobbit. No. Oh, I forgot to. How's it going, Hobbit?
I I should put on some protection first.
Yeah, I forgot. Hello, you magnificent beast. I know. I know. My sexual energy is too much for Twitch.
Tickling.
What am I saying? I should basically turn my category into like those beaches and hot tubs. Oof. Oof. How has your weekend been?
Petticoat.
Triple beeswax.
Here's some nice sweaty and dribbly beeswax. Could you make me some candles, please?
Certainly, my dear.
Meow. Any plans? Hobbit for this nice weekend. Finding this work. Oh, you. Thank you, kids.
There we are, dribbly candles. Just suitable for consorting with loathsome horrors from
Triply. Maybe it's triply from like from the honey.
You're not trying to put one across on your husband or something, I think.
Is it triply and moist?
Telling you, I am not a princess, and I am not engaged in summoning evil entities from beyond. We've got plenty of demons running around the university in any case. Mostly they.
But yeah, like I said earlier, I'm gonna play like those old games that I did when I streamed in Finnish. So, example, next Saturday I'm gonna do Aliens vs Predator, the 2000 game, the PC game. That was a good game. Great company games. Nice, nice. Yesterday I did modify my NES yesterday with the RGB mod. I was thinking that after this one we are gonna play some NES. I just need a new cable because I have like a really cheap cable at the moment, so it takes some interference. So there's like it's buzzing sound with the sound, and yeah. Super NES cable. Because Tim, Australian guy by the way, Mystical, made these version 4 mods. I remember it was like during the worst like chip outage. Aussie, oi. Yeah. But yeah, so if I understood correctly, he wanted to save money, so he removed some resistors from the mod because I think he was thinking that because everybody has RGB cables that have resistors inside the cable. So he said, who needs this kind of resistors on the mod? And well, I don't have a cable that has resistors, example. So that gives a couple of problems, but not bad ones. They're like well, you'll see later if you are watching. So now I'm trying to find a good cable. Yeah, I know. And like like basically I need a cable that has that resistors and stuff like that, and also rooster, not drunk anymore, and also like a shielding on every cable. Hey, thanks for the raid, Mystical, and it was really nice to see you. I hope that I'm gonna see your streaming in the near future. It's just that we live so different, like time zones. Yeah, they make, there's a couple I have been trying to find. The one that I would like to have, it's not really expensive even, it's like 20 pounds. You keep pounds, but they're out of stock. Then there is other one, but it costs like what, 60-70 euros, so nope. So I'm waiting for that one to come back into the store so I can buy that. No, not here. Yeah, no. Now you know it takes that interference, so there's like a, you can see that kind of checkerboard, like a small checkerboard, like on behind you know the image. Well, you'll see. Yeah, you can basically easily make SCART cables, but especially if you wanna get the better picture, there are some things that you have to know. Like if you wanna use C-Sync. So there is some quality issues.
So, you're a vampire then?
Yeah. You can find some good, but I was thinking because I did mod this system and okay, it has one bug that is on the, not a bug that I have made, it's a bug that is inside the mod board. Now it's just annoyance, not really something that doesn't make it work, but
it's not much of a job description now, is it? It's not as if you're
but that cable thing is something that I wanna fix.
Home and woof, you're a vampire.
Is it that bad though? I mean, think of all the advantages.
What advantages? You tell me.
Yeah.
Lower food
bills,
low cost housing, and black goes with everything, of course.
Yeah, but it's this whole night thing that gets me. I never stayed out beyond 8 p.m. in the old days, and now look at me. It's like the black hole of Jelly Baby out there. I keep falling over. Being undead doesn't mean I've got eyes like a cat, you know. I mean, I wish I had, but I haven't. So if I want to do any really good stalking, I have to carry a lantern.
Okay, 2 weeks and we can play Systems of Remake.
Other than just stalking.
Well, I tried advertising, wanted victims to be drained of their lifeblood by a hungry vampire. Yeah, you'd be astonished at how little response there was.
Right.
And when I thought about it, the whole business seemed
yeah, they had
so I decided to give the whole blood thing a miss and start sucking something else. So I
they had some problems, yeah.
Did it work?
Well, it tastes better, but now look what's happened. See? I rotted my teeth. Who ever heard of a vampire with false teeth?
I'd sympathise with you more if I didn't have this awful foreboding that I'm gonna have to use you later on as part of some overcomplicated little scheme.
Oh, the black ones. I think there was like a joke back in the day with those red ring of death.
So this is it. You're just gonna sit in here and avoid being a vampire at all? Haven't you got somewhere?
I should try. I haven't even put it up my Xbox in years. I remember it was back in the day. I used it for like an emulation, like in 2005 or something like that. It has modded. It has like a. Well, 360 had, but also the original Xbox had some problems. I remember it was with heat or something like that. You know, you can also get the red color from the LEDs. If my memory is correct, I may, you know, I may be wrong, but. I know 360 had the RROD, but I think that the original one had some kind of problem also. You didn't call it like Red Ring of Death, of course, but same kind of problem. Let me check. Maybe I remember it wrong. Yeah, it It wasn't. Yeah, it was flashing green and red light. Yeah, it was. It was basically, but same kind of like it used those colored LEDs to tell you that there's some kind of problem. Oh. Oh, suffragista. And now everybody knows the joke.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome.
Overcome what?
What was that, fascist?
I'm asking just what it is that you want to overcome. Who tied you up like this?
I've tied myself here, yeah, me, pig. Now try and repress me out of that.
You tied yourself up?
It's an act demonstrating freedom, see? Well, it demonstrates my freedom to tie myself to anything I want to, whenever I want to. That's one of your basic human rights, right? And I'll fight to keep a hold of it.
You mean you want to fight for the right to lose your freedom?
Right on. Don't you want to know what I'm protesting about?
I was half hoping to avoid it, but do go on.
I'm protesting for the right to have female members of the Fools and Jesters Guild, and I will not be moved.
Why are you protesting about it over here in the cemetery? Why don't you go and do it outside the Jesters Guild?
They never have anything worth tying yourself to over at that end of town. I like this, though. Quite a nice little steak, if you don't mind my saying so. Not an absolute prime choice, mind, but getting there.
Then by all means, be my guest. Excuse me, I think it's probably time for me to take my medicine.
Aww. 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 Oh.
Ah! Ha ha! Another one! Go find your own grave, you rotten fool!
Windle?
Windle? Gad! That's my private name. Oh, you still remember that? Oh, great days they were.
I don't know if nowadays, but like a couple of years ago, you could find
You don't know what life is.
original Xboxes really cheap.
It was great, all that breathing and walking around in the fresh air. Oh, I tell you, if I had my time all
something
over
like that
again,
also.
I wouldn't reincarnate.
So, how are you adjusting then?
Oh, I'll never get used to this grave, I'll tell you.
But I would like to. I want to fix some Xboxes because I usually enjoy changing capacitors.
What's it like?
Because that's fun.
Dead, I mean.
Oh, I've had enough of it.
It's really relaxing.
Too long for a start. Here, keep the
Remove
wretched
old
dead
capacitor,
alive.
maybe
Wait, what am I supposed
clean
to
the
do with it?
area.
Use
If
it
there are
as
some
a small swimming pool.
broken traces, you can fix
I never
those.
said you had to fill it with water, did
And then
I?
you solder the new
Yoinks,
caps
and
in.
away.
Right. Well, it looks like I have a real mission then. I either restore death to his rightful
Well, I
place,
do.
or else we'll be up to our arms.
But you know, that's really relaxing for me. You just put the project at the front of you and you just, you know, only do that. You forget everything else. Maybe listen to music. No worries in your head and nice. I do enjoy that. And you're gonna work with your hands.
I had this strange feeling that I should leave it here. It could be an important plot element.
Oh no. No, no, no. That was always weird. Really weird. Really weird animation.
Here we are then. Glitter dust for your perusal.
Ah, right you are, my boy.
My boy.
Excellent. We'll make a junior apprentice wizard out of you yet.
But I'm already an assistant wizard, 3rd class.
The day is still young.
My boy.
Here you are, one vile stench.
What's this then? Looks more like a genie in a bottle.
You'll get a lot more than you wish for if you open it.
Oh, that joke. No. So let's just remove it, only makes the clock not work. Remove what?
Look at this. Sticks.
The faulty capacitor.
All exactly alike. Precisely as
Well,
Oh, very good.
it depends what
What did you do then? Just go and get some sticks.
where the what the capacitor is for, you know. But hey, Jokke-sama, it depends, you know, a lot.
Here we are.
It's only 4 o'clock.
Jubilee candles.
Well, I would say that the system has a lot of more caps than
Necessary, but
has more caps than only for the clock. Quite a basic component in electronics, so.
There you go. Bet you thought a mouse didn't hold that much blood.
How are you, Jokke-sama?
how exactly? No, never mind. Some things are best left out.
Maybe that is maybe it's like some cap that is usually well known to break up.
Glitter, stench,
Remove, not to replace.
Really? What for?
for the right of ash.
Okay.
You said we needed it. I spent ages getting the right stuff.
Ooh, I don't think so. For
Okay.
that one, you need to open the book, light the bell, and ring the candle.
Why would they remove?
Light the book, open the bell, and ring the candle. Something like that. Is off you go.
Maybe if there is some other part that,
And a bell.
You're not serious, are you?
because maybe that cap is made for the clock, it's like basically a timing cap.
Come on, let's get these sticks.
So when you remove that,
and do this Ask Ent thing, shall we?
basically, you know, make it faster. I don't know. Don't know Xbox so much, so well. Yeah, I'm gonna play Punch Out after this game. Aha. Okay, yeah. Well, that explains. Funny.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, come tally me banana. Daylight
I always forget this part.
On the summer day, here they'll have jelly for our afters. Daylight come on. Knee boot, leg boot, head boot, hop. Daylight come on.
Disney, none. There is no connection to Disney.
Come out as planned, did it?
Who started us off on this?
It's Terry Pratchett books.
I worked long and hard to get this stuff. Can we at least treat this ceremony with a little bit of...
Terry Pratchett books, no.
Damn
Like,
it, I've lost my train of thought now. What's that word I was looking for? The one used for describing distinction.
hey, Strider. No, sorry.
Differentiation of treatment.
I always forget. Hey, Strider.
Impression, is it? We can't treat a ceremony...
Disney movies. Oh, really? Maybe they tried to.
Dictatorship of
You
the
hate Pratchett
proletariat?
books. Why, Hobbit? Why do you hate Pratchett books?
Dictatorship of the proletariat.
Be lurking.
That results as an
No problem.
inevitable reaction
Lurking
against
is okay.
repression.
Fine.
I think this would work better if everyone just got back on track.
Well, yeah, the
It's
humor
time
is a
we
bit
acted
different.
with a little bit of class.
Humor is a bit different in those ones.
Was it? The word was class.
Working on some older pieces, nice.
What word?
I installed that RGB yesterday. I don't know what I'm gonna do. PC.
How long have you been here then?
Since the
A little bit.
Will this
Yeah.
take long? I'm on
And I checked, if you remember, there was some problem with the the quality of the well, not bad, it's not big problems, but there was like interference. And I started to check around, and the reason is basically, I told this earlier already, but
But it sounds interesting.
one big
Here, you.
reason may be
City is in
is because
chaos.
Tim, the guy who made the mod,
There you go, swanning
wanted to
off
save
the
some money.
foreign lands while we're up to our
Wanted to save some money, so he removed some registers from the mod,
Get back to work.
because he said that
Remember any word?
almost everybody uses cables, SCART cables that have those resistors in them,
An eternity.
and I have a cheap cable that doesn't have those resistors. So basically, there's some problem with the RPG with that.
About enough of
Also, I
this.
need to have a cable that basically has those shielding.
Get those corks out of your hat.
Now it takes too much interference. That's stupid. Yeah, I think that's a problem with version 4.0.
What?
I haven't seen
Just you come back here.
real life, but I've seen some picture of the 4.1 version that has those resistors.
Prince Wind.
Yeah, I know, but it was during when, you know, there was problem getting chips, so
Shall we say, so very mobile.
yeah, if you buy something, we put more money to it.
Only if you don't want to spend the rest of your life staring out across a pond.
It's retrograde extra pay.
with all the other toads.
It's like
Frogs.
if you buy something
If we had a proper union like
in the longer run, it's
might have a few
cheaper to buy the more expensive one. You know,
Dictatorship
if you buy cheap, you have to upgrade it or fix it with more money in later on.
Die with me.
It's like, isn't there like a saying that the poor man shouldn't buy anything cheap, right? Mega Everdrive Pro. How much does it cost nowadays? Six more months, yeah. Oh, that's that expensive. Yeah. I think I have one. I usually buy Everdrive, but there is like one reason when I'm gonna buy Everdrive is when I get Sega Nomad into my collection, because that's something I'm gonna use like when I sit on train or something like that during trips, and you can't carry like your whole Mega Drive collection with you, so easier. Oh, you have? Nice. 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 Well, Nomad uses, you can play normal Genesis games with Nomad, so just buy Everdrive. It takes Genesis cartridges.
Pork Futures. Probably no other
Future.
world in the
Futures.
multiverse has warehouses for things which only exist in Potentia. Here, however, the Pork Futures warehouse is a product of the patricians' rules about baseless metaphors, the literal-mindedness of citizens who assume that everything must exist somewhere, and the general thinness of reality around Ang.
I love
The
this
net
joke.
result is that trading in pork futures, in pork that doesn't exist yet, led to the building of the warehouse to store it until it does. The extremely low temperatures are caused by the imbalance in the temporal energy flow.
But yeah, Nomad uses normal Genesis cartridges, so you can use like a Evetry with it. Mm-hmm. So I've been wondering because I have my maybe. But I've been thinking that because I have my birthday on July, so maybe I should buy Sega Nomad for myself as a personal birthday present. Yeah, taxes cost. But there is a one? No, I don't need because you know there is a. Was it in Poland or where? Or Ukraine? I hope no. I hope not. Hopefully it's not. It was Ukraine. But Ukraine, yeah. The seller. I wonder if he can even sell them. Well, that's true also. That's true.
Hello again.
He said,
Yeah.
Well, basically it's not EU. It's what was it?
When the cosmos is going down the privilege.
ETA here.
Hang of this.
just fancy. 20 years of school and finally you've mastered
What
the
was
ability
ETA in
to
English?
talk to a rat. Your mother must be so very proud. If you
Is
ever
it EEA or what was it? Yeah, EEA. Not EU, but EEA. It's really around now. European Economic Area. It's ETA in Finnish, but EEA. So you basically have to be an EU member, but if you are part of EEA, because EEA, it's ETA in Finnish.
So, where do you transport your corpses?
European Economic Area or something. Which is funny, you can be part of EEA without being a part of EU.
But you should see the place we've just found now, sir. Beaches, hats with corks, and blonde.
But I think that you cannot be a member of EU without being a member of EEA. There is that kind of.
Yes. But how do I get there?
Well, you'd have to be dead, sir. We've got the entire season's passages already booked.
Oh.
Are you telling me that I have to be dead in order to qualify for tourist travel?
Well, yes, sir. But it's a very reasonable option. We let
Reasonable.
you take all the luggage you want.
Why is that?
It's all class.
Yeah, Jovi, there are also like those Chinese made and stuff like that, but you know, usually not the best ones. Even cheaper.
It's a good thing you have a captive audience. Why not just tell me how to get to this holiday location of yours?
Just a death certificate should do it, sir. It's the only way to tell these days. Got one, have you?
Nope.
Goodbye.
'Cause, yeah, they are, you know, they are surprisingly high quality. Surprisingly high quality.
Hello.
Dead. Why, come in, sir. Come in and decompose yourself.
Usually when you buy stuff like that,
Not even...
I usually, you know, recommend that put more money into the item and you get something that saves your time and saves your nerves, because you know, buying something like that cheap and it doesn't work well, it's basically useless.
All the funds going out of this
And so
business
we're
these days.
great.
How does one get to be declared dead round here?
Simple, sir. Just lay down
Example, you know,
when a cold
cheaper ones always has some problems.
body's breath and there's no detectable pulse. Then we can safely declare the individual to have
Maybe you don't see those problems at first, but after a while you find some games that doesn't work or.
criteria, sir. In the current situation, it pays to be flexible.
It's full quote for the NES and it's excellent. Okay.
Well, that's it. I'll give it a
new game. I should play more of those homebrew games. That's true. A lot of NES games. Well, I usually like more Mega Drive than I like Super NES, so I'm not complaining. I'm basically a Sega boy.
If it's low body temperature he wants, then it's... Alright, I'm feeling a little bit dead. And so I thought...
What any company? Well, I'm not saying I'm in the company, I'm more into the hardware. I'm more into the hardware, not into the company. I just enjoy the Mega Drive. Especially Mega Drive, how it uses memory, and also the sound chip is great. Let me just... Well... Colors. Well, yeah, but the Yamaha sound chip.
Looking good so far, sir. Just one last
Hello, Netri. 3 buttons. Oh, that...
Perhaps we can talk about this.
Don't be like that, Ryder. Oh, that went inside. Oof.
Wonderful news, sir. Wonderful news.
Yes? Am I dead?
As a doornail, sir. Finally, a satisfied customer at last.
How are you, Netri? I'm dead. Nice.
Now then, here's a death certificate, which also entitles you to cut-price headstone carving, embalming, and free drinks at the yearly Mortician's Ball.
I don't know. I usually always liked... But with the Mega Drive, because the Super NES sound chip uses samples and stuff like that. But Mega Drive was... at least the original Mega Drive, it had the better Yamaha chip. They was basically a real like a synthesizer. And with the... With a user who knows how to use the chip, you can create a really good sounds. Like example, check Street of Rage games. So whatever it means, minä en oo kuollut. I didn't remember that. Who needs pause? It's a Mortal Kombat, there is no pause. There is only kill.
Afraid so.
Ah well, can't win them all, or any of them, come to think of it.
There's only kill. Ow. Oh, I hate how this has so much Monty Python jokes.
Har, yo ho ho, me matey. Shiver your timber, a vast improvement.
Stop that!
Oh, please. It's genuine nautical gibberish.
No, I've told you about that. I'm only doing business with you if you stop all...
Yeah, I like Monty Python, but the Monty Python has to be inside Monty Python. This game just uses too much about Eric Idle, and even they know it.
Supposed to be a sea voyage, not Captain Sea Dog's little
Well, this game has a lot of Monty Python stuff.
Look, if we're going to sea, then we ought to establish ourselves as acceptable stereotypes of sea-going characters. It all stands to reason. Now, you can't hold me responsible for the paradigms which grip our customers. They expect this sort of thing. They don't think you're real without all that avast the main bracer business. Word-of-mouth advertising can make or break a business like mine.
Word of mouth? They're dead.
Oh, all right. Just bring them on board then, and we'll forget all about it.
Yarr. Yeah, this turn into is it now Monkey Island? Good old Monkey Island.
Nothing. Just clearing my throat.
There's something very odd about you.
I'm alive.
As I were walking down Paradise Street, singing hey ho, blow the man down.
Blow the man down.
Saucy young cuttlefish I chanced there to meet. Oh, give me some time to blow the sheep up. Damn!
I say, any chance of a cup of tea, my naughty
I do
boy?
like the second Discworld game, but I have to say that the first one is much better.
That's the ghost of Captain Lavender Beard, back from David.
Yeah, that's true, Ante. By the way, how are you, Ante? Nice to see you.
Women and fearless sea dogs first.
Well, I think that this... I have a feeling that Eric Idle had more power to say. Because this even has the intro song sung by Eric Idle. And if you give Eric Idle power to choose, there's gonna be singing. There's gonna be singing. Nice. May I ask what did you eat? Like that's pure Monty Python animation. Terry Gilliam. Did you have pizza? Pasta? Pizza. I knew it. Oh, Australia.
You, there you are. Bone Idle, I see. Come on, get
Bone
up and get
Idle.
to work. It's chaos back there.
No, I like it here. It's a land of opportunity. Sun, surf, and prawns.
I can see the sun's giving you a nice bleach. Come on, we're going home.
No,
Hi, Miro.
I'm not going back. I worked my fingers to the bone for them, but they all hate me.
Hate you? What does that matter? You're deaf. You're not supposed to worry about things. You just happen.
Well, I want more from life. A little bit of popularity. Not too much to ask, is it? I worked hard for everybody. Does
How are you,
anyone
Miro?
ever say thank you? I think not.
Thank you for dying. Look, if I promise you that I'll find a way of making you popular, will you come back?
People will like me. You promise?
Yeah, no, of course technology is better. And you can also hear that
All right. But only if you make me feel
the sound quality, even for the voice acting, is much better.
Into the people's hearts and minds, my dear fellow. Tell me, have you ever heard of something called the clickies?
But as for puzzles,
A clicky, you
not
say?
as good.
Something to make a legendary figure more personally popular. That's a challenge and a half, that is. But nothing modern marketing techniques
Not
can't
as good.
handle. You just leave it to old Dibbler.
All right, but I want it to have integrity. Just make it nice.
Nice? Of course it'll be
Nice.
nice. I'll tell you what. I'll splice you in for half the take, but mind, I'm cutting my own throat. Now, tell me what talent you got lined up. This, lead of yours. Nice, upper balcony, is she?
No.
Oh, well, what a skinny one then, eh? Long and lean, eh? Whoa.
Well, quietly.
Oluet kasvien kanssa.
I've got the angle. Works as a shipwright by day over at the docks. Sweat, 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 wood shavings, and torn, tight little shirt, and then dances in an exotic nightclub every evening. We clap a soundtrack on it, and we got a hit for sure.
A shipwright who dances in a topless bar? What the hell do you take our audiences for?
For about $3 groat a ticket. Why? What's wrong? The formula's perfect.
I'm
Olutkukka.
just not so sure my principal lead is going to make a very convincing exotic dancer.
Beer flower.
I mean, sex-wise and all.
You mean they're a man?
Well, I suppose he's a man.
Sex-wise.
Well, really. You have to look at the pelvis, don't you?
They keep you wizards indoors too long. That's your problem, mate. Look, I'll tell you what, we can sell anything, just as long as we have the right marketing. You know the product, so I'll leave all that with you. We need 3 things to make this a success. You've been waiting for this bit, haven't you? Just waiting for it. First and foremost, a gorgeous babe. That's just pro forma for the press. Next, you need a really
Just me.
catchy jingle.
That's right,
song
Miro.
we can clap into the soundtrack.
No beer for the
Finally,
flowers.
We need the gimmicks, the novelty merchandise that actually creams the cake.
May I ask,
Get
what-
me those free things,
what plans
and I'll
did
have
you
a film
get?
out in no time.
Eli mitä kasveja?
A jingle and some novelties. I don't suppose you'd consider collecting them yourself.
We're gonna play NES after this game, by the way.
What sort of fool would waste his valuable leisure time voluntarily going off on annoying little quests set by stupid and ungrateful people, eh?
Aye.
Yes, he'd have to be some sort of idiot, wouldn't he? Oh well, see you in a little while then. Take axe, open door, kill dragon. Why wasn't I born in the days of text adventures?
Valkokäen kaali. Karpisen loukku. Holy wood.
Death, old chap, we are gonna make you a star.
A star. Oh, really? Bum, bum. Yeah, this game has that one.
You kidding? Why would I want a bent stick? Ah, a bent stick. How very amusing. Baskets. Take a good look. You'll probably be weaving.
Baskets.
Remedial therapy before you finish this.
Grubs, mate?
What?
Grubs. Witchetty grubs. A buns of feed.
Point me own bone.
You can just smell them on the barbie now, eh? Come on. The cost's only 3 bits.
Want me own
at a
bone.
bid price
Cut
of
me own
cut
throat.
down didgeridoo.
No, look, I don't want to eat any insect larvae today.
Could be the mistake of your life, mate. They're yummy.
Ugh. Grubs? Ugh, they smell awful.
You'd be really grateful for a feed of these if you were lost in the desert, mate.
A good advert for buying a map, I feel. Are you sure you live here?
Cut me
You
throat.
seem awfully familiar to me.
Sure as a platypus is an egg-laying mammal. Now, can I interest you in any
Gibbler.
quality dinkum merchandise, mate? Picnic hampers, hats with corks. How's about a nice bent stick?
Nah,
I've got a
I need to
lovely
find
line in
those books, you know, cheap as possible, because there are too many books. If I buy everything like in
Why don't you sell anything useful?
high price,
Useful? It's all
hundreds
useful.
of euros, hundreds of euros.
See?
Library, yeah.
Thing for that? Take a couple of
But I'm a man who likes to, you know, own books. I have a
magic.
Magic?
Well,
at the living room there is a
it'll be magic.
lot of
Come
books on
mate.
shelf.
2 for the price of 1. I'm cutting me own bludger.
Go away.
Because you know you can always take the book and read it on your own time.
Come on, mate.
And there is something about
I'm cutting me
owning a
own
book. I don't know. Maybe I'm an old timer.
Doesn't mean anything.
Sorry.
There is something about that.
You've worked that out, have you? Yes, we only talk like that when there's foreigners about. The tourist board insists that we maintain the image. In real life, none of us would dream of drinking or swearing or making offensive remarks about women, I assure you. Now then, where was I? Ah, yes.
G'day, Dinkum Chunder. Struth, I'm worried about Darlene.
Yes, yes.
Maybe I'm an old timer.
Now can't be
In that
colloquial
sense.
over there, will you? Stand the flaming crows. Oh, now you've got me.
I don't know why. There is something like
This picnic hamper, it's not filled with bugs or anything, is it?
Nah, mate. I charge extra for the bugs. It's a bargain. I'll give you the handle for free.
how could I
but
say
I'm
it?
cutting me own billabong.
there is some civility. You call it civility. Civil. When you have books. But not including fur. Okay. I remember the Finnish translation was surprisingly good. When you think about the jokes and stuff, it's not the easiest. Not the easiest job. Oh, camels.
Gerbils, oh, I want prime racing gerbils rented to you at lowest cost.
Gerbils? Those look like camels.
No offense.
Gerbils.
These are gerbils, desert-dwelling rodents. Very fine, very cheap.
Look, I'm telling you that these are not gerbils. Do these gerbils of yours eat cheese, run about in little wheels, make nests out of old tissues and cotton wool?
No offense.
So what makes you think that these creatures are gerbils?
They burrow.
Really? All of them?
Yeah. Well, no. Not all of them. Well, none. Really.
Well, I might be interested in renting one of the non-burrowing ones then.
Indeed. Please feel free to browse.
Yeah, that's true also.
Right, let us for now establish that these are camels. This being so, how much to rent one for a brief journey?
5 dinar offending.
And to buy?
5 dinar offending.
Why are they the same to rent as to buy?
I cannot stand the noise they make as they sit in their wood shavings eating cheese.
Now look, I thought we had that settled. Oh, all right. 5 dinar then, but only if you invest some of it in professional psychiatric treatment.
Oh. T. Now I have a camel. Oh, is it a camel? Oh no, this joke.
Ooh. Yes. Very nice. Yes.
Nah, I don't like it.
Oh no, it's awful. You know what that needs? It needs a good gelding.
Quite
Gelding.
right. Whip 'em off and we'll soon see a difference. Yes. Time was they'd only let real men in here. They'll let any old rubbish in these days.
Gelding.
Yes.
Mystic temptresses of the East. Not quite as I imagined them, actually. So why do they get such good press? I suppose they must have a good publicity machine.
Yes.
Candy Rock.
Candy Rock.
Big Rock Candy Mountain. Oh, look. Apparently the stuff comes in coal
Popping
tar,
rumors.
sulfur and new phosphate flavours.
Ugh.
Stone, sir.
You what?
Stone, sir. For the executions, good solid stone, guaranteed streamlined. Or we've got lightweight models here designed for those caught at the back of the
Good
crowd.
old stoning. Yeah, I've even.
Loving sort of fellow. Do you have any Candy Rock?
What, like trolls eat and lose all their teeth on? Yup, there's a slab of it just here. It's terrifically popular. Well, you can throw it at someone and no one gets hurt, see? Good stuff for stonings. I mean, you get to stone the victim all over again on another day.
So this Candy Rock, can I have it then?
Oh, certainly. I mean, why bother even paying any money? I'm just glad to be of help.
Oh my.
Yes.
Sorry about that, sir. It's just supply and demand. Maybe you should try the next stoning. It should only be in a full moon or two. Someone's sure to have done something stonable by then.
I can't wait for
Good
2
old
full
stoning.
moons. I'm on a timetable, I am. What am I going to do now?
Have you ever considered, sir, engaging in a long and almost pointless quest to achieve the same results we almost had squared away a mere few seconds ago, sir?
Come on,
Do I look the
this
sort of
the
person...
jokes in this one. Ah.
I do, don't I? I really do.
These sound too more about like a Monty Python jokes. De blah.
Bing humors.
De blah. De blah. And Yuri Jelle. De blah and Yuri Jelle.
Witness the all-powerful mystic type skill.
That's a good way to, you know, keep the list on Sika.
Watch now. Strain. Oh, the end has fallen off.
Look, you being being a mystic and all, you wouldn't happen to know anything about jingles, would you?
Yuri Geller knows all about jingles.
Yuri Geller.
Bring Yuri bells and he will make them jingle. You want big jingle or little jingle?
You're
Aww, this
I
game.
mean jingle as in short, catchy song. Some meaningless little tune that goes around and around.
That's a good amount.
Ah, now Yuri understands. You mean like philosophy, but to music?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes, Yuri knows a philosopher. He
Oh yeah, no, now we know that place. No. Yeah, the lusikka taipuu. The spoon is gonna bend.
Yuri, pleased to be of assistance.
But we have hoops.
I say, can you maybe do me a little favour? I have some things here that need straightening out.
No problems, my good man.
There is no spoon. I should watch old Matrix movies.
My nose has started to bleed. Now look what you've made me do. All down the front of Dad's good shirt.
Aww. I did watch the new Matrix movie. Like earlier this year. That was awful. That was awful. Why did they make that? Why did they make that movie? Yeah. I usually wanna, you know, hope that there's like a other reason than money, but usually it's money. Yeah. That is true, yeah.
Pyramids, dams in the stream of time, correctly shaped and
Those Rambos.
with proper cosmic measurements correctly plumbed in, the temporal potential of the great mass of stone can be diverted.
Quick bathroom break.
Or reverse time over a very
Minute.
small area. In the same way that a hydraulic ram can be induced to pump water against the flow. The whole point of a correctly built pyramid is to achieve absolute null time in the central chamber, so that a dying king, tucked up there, will indeed live forever. Or at least never die. The time that should have passed in the chamber is stored in the bulk of the pyramid and allowed to flare off once every 24 hours.
Yeah. Have you seen those Creed movies? I watched the first one, but I haven't seen. Didn't they make like the third one already? No. Yeah. I think they. Some has said that they ain't bad. I saw the first one, but you know the newer ones. Last Rocky. Yeah. I don't know. But come on. Aren't they making a new Rambo?
That's nice. One bandaged wooden arm.
I can tell it's right.
I'm not touching him. Nice fault. Let's not get...
Yeah, I think they are. When you thought that those movies could end, but I'm not sure if they already started making, but I heard that there were some plans. Well, there are always plans for new movies, but let me check. Yeah. Yeah. Hit this one. No. I think there was gonna be a new. Not that we have the metahumans, there will be no dubs one. Ah. Oh crap. Oh. Bone Idol.
Dino, eh? Less meat on him than a... a skeleton on a stick. I think there might be marketing possibilities here. Bing! Funny sort of name for a scarecrow.
Bone Idol.
I'm not quite sure I really appreciate that joke. Say no more. What on disc are you lot doing up there?
Nothing much, just hanging around.
If it's not an embarrassing question, why did they tie you up there?
Publicity.
Publicity? They've got you up there tied to an old dead tree.
Well, it was either this or do adverts for coffee.
In which case, I suppose, I can see your point. Say, have you ever considered using your talents commercially?
Oh, yes. I mean, I could rent myself out for scaring crows off the crops. Liven up children's parties, that sort of thing.
No. I mean, you're singing. Would you consider doing some singing for me?
What? Who?
But yeah.
Prices down.
Let's see what we are gonna see when the AI gets even more
Well, that's it.
powerful. Are we gonna see like movies that they make with AI and using like old dead actors? Think about that. I don't know. Feels weird. Wow. Band. Oh, this guy. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, Angus! Angus! Angus, where are... Ooh, there you are. Oh,
Movie studios are gonna make so much money.
What with the sun and the sand and
Why pay money to actors when you can...
mushrooms? I'd go quite mad if it wasn't for you, Angus. No! No! You can't play a king on a 7. You cheat,
Angus.
little... Get off! How many cards do you have there anyway?
Ah, a holy madman on a wheel. He must be Sage of the Desert. He'd be in real trouble if I had some onions.
Sage of the Desert.
So you're...
Esti England.
You're good then, are you? I mean, you know, wise.
Esti England.
Wise? If I was any wiser, I'd be a leopard skin bikini.
That wise, eh?
Aha! I'm so wise that I will now provide you with your heart's desire. A jingle written for your sinful modern type clicky film.
Straight from your pants.
Yes.
No, Angus, no! No, not now, thank you, I'm busy. Baste it for 12 minutes, 12! Fool, 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 and fool again! How can you never remember? Nyaha, there! Here's a jingle written expressly for your clicky project to promote death. Oh, promote the death.
What? You've written it for me now? Just like that? No quests or anything?
No.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
Sorry about that.
No.
I might have known. There's going to be a quest.
What do you say, Natalie? Should I play the Discworld Noir also?
He says he's sick and tired of being woken up all hours of the night by people coming here and asking us the riddle that has baffled philosophers since the dawn of time. Why?
Why? Why what?
Why anything? Why everything? Why are we here? Why are you here? Why am I here?
Now that's a hard one. Right then, it's not like you're
Who was it?
to do anything difficult.
Because I don't remember.
Question, okay?
Like I said, I read the books like what,
Just go off and find this answer.
10, 20 years ago, so
Fine by everybody? Right?
I've forgotten a lot. But I just remember I had so much fun, fun with the books.
Thing after another.
Right, now, where were we? Oh yes, dealer takes 2.
Yeah, it's a strange. That's strange. Graphics, that's for sure.
A pantomime horse suit. Now don't tell me, it's sure to be useful somewhere.
Dwarf.
Greetings, my good man.
Woman. I'm a woman. I might be a dwarf, but I'm still a woman.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I wasn't quite sure how to tell.
And I'm not going to give you any hints. Anyway, what can I do for you?
That horse suit.
It's earlier servant. Oh.
But I tell you what.
But isn't the now the servant is basically the what was his name? Like the one who created the unseen university, like a high wizard.
Are you absolutely sure you're a woman?
Of course I'm sure.
Yeah.
Some of us are secure enough.
Wasn't he like the first headmaster?
Well, that's it. A rotten arm. Ooh, and with a ring on one finger. Well, at least he went in style. There we are. One jelly baby and ring, just for you.
There you go. I think he was like the first headmaster. Yeah.
Ooh, it's going to look wonderful. We need something to go in the navel of sinful Sabrina, the belly dancer in scene 13.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. Actually, you could...
I really love how they have
Sabrina
turned the voice like that.
if you'd like.
Really? Where is she?
Right here, big boy. Just wait there. I'll go get my bells and tassels.
Is it like is it like this? Oh no. Or is it like this? I think it's like this. Sounds really awful, I know. Really awful. Because it sounds so awful. Let's try. Hey, Dolly. Yeah, this is a great game. How's it going? How's it going? We are gonna play some NES after this, so don't worry. I don't know. The problem with these games is that when I read the books, I never thought that Rincewind would look like this. I always thought he was more scruffy. You know, more scruffy. I'm a bit tired.
Now let's see what
what we have here.
I know the feeling.
Deathly pale.
I know the feeling. But it's been a great weather here.
But have I got a face for you?
Warm, sunny. Oh.
Now, what about this?
This ain't quite my style, sweetheart.
Aww.
Well, I dare say someone will like it one day. All right. How's about? Yes.
Hey, look at this look. You ever looked at a look looking like this looks? Either my watch is stopped or I'm dead.
Oh,
Aww.
I just know you're going to love this one.
Yeah, same, Dolly.
How does that feel?
Hasta la vista, Rincewind.
Look, this isn't working. I want something more direct, more glamorous.
Oh, so you're suddenly the big expert, are you?
The second game ain't bad, but I do like the first one more.
I'm not budging so much as a brush until you bring me decent
Yeah,
reference material.
even though you can see that this game has like better budget and let's say and stuff like that, but well, they make a joke about that at the beginning of the game, but oh, imps. Oh. Okay. He wasn't. Ungulant.
Who cares what the plot's like? You can put in giant rubber dinosaurs for all I care, as long as they explode.
Hello there.
No time to talk. I need more imps to put inside the cameras. Gotta have more special effects over here. Maybe a
Imps are doing everything.
boom.
Look, you're a busy man. I was just wondering.
Boom! Pow!
Oh, never mind.
Well, I recommend reading the books.
I need an imp to go inside the camera, I mean.
Like I said earlier, I read the books like 10, 20 years ago. So I've been thinking I should read them once again. But they were fun. They were really fun, you know. The style that Pratchett writes them is just so lively and fun. So I just really enjoy those. And the humor is just so absurd. And I like absurd humor.
That's all very well, but do you think I can borrow an imp for a while so I can do some photography?
Yeah, Rincewind books are great. Of course, there's other ones that they are not really that fun, but they add more into the world and you understand more about even the Rincewind story. But the humor is great, and I like how that's why Prestige is a great writer, and that's why I say like a commentator, because you somehow he can make fun fantasy novels that has inside them like also like a social commentary about human nature and our own society. That makes it so great.
Call this death, do you? In my day, people knew how to die.
Yeah, they have also politics. Some of them have more politics also.
Lights, booming voices.
But I like there is that like
Right, that is it. If a job's worth doing, then it's
fun
worth
way to
doing yourself
look
in.
at human nature, humanity, and the society we live in, culture.
Drop dead.
And it makes fun of all of that like in a really nice way, Well, that's not one done.
Can you believe it? It needs to be heavier.
Huh? Ah, now I remember.
Can you believe?
Ah, this is humor. 10 tons. Ah. This is like pure Roger Rabbit humor. Ah. Well, what do we have here? Casa.
I'm in the mood for love. Love is the thing I've been thinking of. Love is what is on my mind right now. And also romance is on my mind as well. Bebop, bebop, bo bo, ba doop doop bye. Oh, shaka, 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 bye. Oh, I'm in the mood for love. Love is the thing I've been thinking of. Love is what is on my mind right now. And also romance is on my mind as well. Never. I am a Casananda.
Second greatest.
The second greatest lover who ever lived.
I like the idea. Nobody is like I'm the best. It's always second.
At least until my next challenge. I'm now ready for more.
That's like some modesty there, you know. I'm not the best, I'm the second best.
Oh dear. Right, well I'll just leave you to your hopeless task, shall I? Still, it seems a shame to see you wasting yourself on...
Why, Sting?
Well, a man like you shouldn't be content with second best, should he? For instance, I met a few women just recently. Dark,
Ooh.
energetic.
Not Casanova, but Casanunda.
Shelly, baby. Clearly I'm dealing with inferior intellects, which are hard to find, believe me. Tell me, elves, are they in your area of expertise at all?
Oh, yes. You've come to the right woman. Elves? I wouldn't trust those magic-wielding backstabbers any further.
Ah, elves in the stories are like a bit different.
Glamour, you see. She can hold a man captive without uttering a word.
They're a bit different.
Oh, I see the evil spell of her eyes, eh?
Can't say anyone's ever looked high enough to notice her eyes. You can find the entrance to their world in a stone circle near Longplay.
I like the last part of this game is great when you go. Well, I'm not gonna spoil, but the last part of this game is that I had the most fun with.
And they'll have you sucking on your toes and singing tra-la-la-lally quicker than spit in your eye. They'll do that too.
Tra la la la. Casanunda.
Ah, my old friend the arboreal ape. It's the nice thing about Ankh-Morpork. It's an equal opportunity kind of place. He's always ready to knuckle down and work for peanuts too.
Oh, ape.
I don't suppose you've ever... No, it's silly really. Forget it. Well, it's just, you look to me like the sort of person a friend could rely on. Turn to in times of trouble, you know, or even, for instance, ask to wear the front end of a pantomime horse suit. You do? Well, why didn't you say so? I'd have got you one long ago. It's about time our sort came out of the trunk.
Ah, now we have a librarian with us.
Hey, he took the front end.
Ah. No. Food. I don't think he does. At least I don't remember. That joke didn't, you know. And we are not talking about donkey carts. Card. I know. We go here. Did anybody get the number of that donkey cart? Oh. He does like steaks. Or she just likes steaks. Yeah, let's put her here. The items that you can get in this game are like what? What? But yeah, you know, like I said, sometimes there's some jankiness with the animation, but you know, you can see that they had more money with this game. A lot more money.
Popping humor.
No. No.
Jokes for women. Women want the joke.
Stone him. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Great just feature scene.
Get 'em, get 'em.
Oh dear, that deja vu headache is coming on again. Oh, well, it's what the punters want. Still, at least they know what's supposed to happen. Yada, 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 yada. Ah, here we are. In that she did take comedy in vain is hereby sentenced to be stoned by soft, chewy rock candy.
What? Taken comedy in vain? How?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
It does. Define your terms, you fascist.
Well, it's for lame comedy then. Stuff that's lifeless, dull. The sort of rubbish you get when you lamely parrot off other people's material and come out with something worthwhile all of your own. Stop that!
But you were parroting.
I am not parroting. I am parodying. Parodying. Completely different. Parodying. Remember that, and then we don't get sued.
Oh dear.
Stop it! Stop it! Now who threw that? Was it you?
Yes.
Well?
Well, she was parroting.
Stop it! Stop it! Right. No one is to stone anybody.
Until you blow his whistle.
We've seen it. That's parroting.
Stone him! Stone him!
Not me! No, I'm not the one who wanted this stuff. They made me do it!
I say, shall we call this one the dead parroting sketch?
Watch it.
Oh. Oh. Dead burning skits. Ah. Too much Monty Python here. Okay. Hey Ricky, stop being silly. Hi Ricky, how's it going? Yeah, see you later, Sika. It's possible. I'm good, hey, nice to hear. I'm also good, you know. Enjoying the weekend. Great weather and some nice games. Where's the luggage? Ah, we got an imp. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-da. Yeah, I'm playing this game. I was thinking that we're gonna play some NES after this one.
Anyway, here, try some Candy Rock. I bought it over from Jelly Baby.
Best quill wins. We shall see, we shall see. I haven't played Street Fighter in years. It's only Sonic Boom.
Oh, my tooth. Oh,
Sonic Boom.
My tooth. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts me. Oh, my mummy. Oh, my mummy, no.
Okay, don't cry. Lime scale everywhere. I'll see what I can do to pull it out.
No.
It was a great game.
Oh.
Nope.
No.
How do I get into that trailer over there?
What? Through the door? You mean you want to go through the door?
Of course that's what I mean.
Now what do you want to go doing that for?
Because the wall has a solid, wall-y kind of look. The key, right?
Well, I could only
Hadouken.
really give the key to someone.
Yeah, the old classic spam tactic.
3 rooster feathers, a
Works
piece
every
of
time.
string, and a huge clock.
Works so much every time, you know.
No, I draw the line right
Tiger
there.
shot, Hadouken, Kikoken.
No pathetic excuses for, quote, natural thinking as I go stumbling about trying
I
to
still
get
love the old
this time. Just
YouTube meme
me the
that
key.
Guile team goes with everything.
I had my heart set on that piece of string.
All right, we'll try logic. Now look. Are you aware
It does.
there are multiple outcomes to each and every action that we take? Just say yes.
Yes.
Right. Well, that means that somewhere in the universe there's an alternative world where you've already given me the key. Say yes.
Yes.
So since you've already given it to me,
I can see that. I can see that.
in hand right now. I mean, I've already used it once.
Oh, right you are then.
I can
Here
see
you
that.
go.
Let's see if I can make a game puzzle out of that one. Here, let me try something. This should work.
Nice. Oh, mama.
It was a cutout all the time. I could have just walked around. Don't say a word. Just don't say a darn word.
Hello, milkmaid.
What do you want now, then?
I was just wondering whether you were free, that is, if you might consider being part of a very special clicky that we're making.
Oh, sure. But, I get lonely on the set. You'll have to find me a little friend.
Friend?
Yeah, I lost my last one, you see.
Friend? Oh, I see. For your ring. A little
Milk
friend.
Lake looks a bit
Right.
different from the
No
first game.
messing with a weary.
Well, we have a diamond.
One diamond, reasonably clean, all for you. Now get out there and star in my clicky, or I'll take away all your makeup and ban you from ever visiting a hairdresser again.
You heartless beast! Gee, anyone would think you've been round the world for this here thing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Tin, 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 tin. What next? Yeah. Good old Australia. Anthill. Pam, param, pam, pam.
I suddenly feel like I'm in a sports sim.
Who knows?
Okay, now we're cooking. Let's see me fall off it now.
Pam, param, pam.
Now we're ready to take pictures.
No, 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 no. Surf.
A swim doesn't seem like such a good idea. I could get crushed by all those big waves.
But we have surfboard. Oh, how do I enjoy that? Bum, bum, bada, bum. Some pictures and dun, dun, da, da, dum.
If I want ache and I
Ah. Let's leave. Yeah, forest now. Now I need some space.
looks like it'd fit. If only I could stick it down.
Ah, now I remember. Yeah.
No, hang on.
If I remember correct, there is like Easter egg in that scene.
Do you really want me to be a horse's rear end? A pantomime horse? Yeah, it smells. Well, it certainly fits. I wish you.
Now we're using next screen, right? No.
And don't come back. You set foot in here again, and you'll be taking your ears home in your hat. The difference is, we take all your teeth and put your head under the pillow. Hey, by the way, isn't it time the Queen's pet came back? It's been gone a long time.
Only they always find their way home.
Nasty.
Well, it certainly. A pantomime? Yeah. I've got a better idea.
Am I missing something? Ah.
One sticky. There we go.
Yeah, like that. Well, this doesn't have as nasty puzzles as the first one, but I like this art style and stuff more on the first game.
Don't know why I have to be the rear end.
Not a bad game.
All hail me.
What?
Come on, all hail me. It's been 10 minutes since anyone said how fearsomely beautiful I am.
Oh, right. Well, you're dangerously attractive, maddeningly gorgeous,
Yes?
you're wonderful. You can torture small animals in a very regal way. You can do amazing things with your hair.
Well, what about you? Why haven't you said anything? Guards, off with his head.
Wait,
That kind of queen.
But what?
But I was
Papa.
dumb by your beauty. That's it. Phew.
All right. Slightly crawly. But you can keep all your bits if you stand over there and croak like a frog.
Ribbit! Ribbit! Ribbit!
Absolute power. Who can say it isn't wonderful?
Ribbit!
Keep it going. You've still got plenty of little bits that can be chopped off, you know.
Ribbit!
Oh.
Ribbit! 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 Ribbit!
Smile. Say
Ribbit.
children's blood.
Ribbit!
Oh.
Ribbit! Ribbit!
Oh, you queen.
Ribbit!
Well, now I have pictures. Ah, the game. Bum, bum, bum. And compared to the first game, this ain't as long.
Nasty little blighters. Looks like I'll have to entice them out.
Pyramid. Clever.
Scan. Right, Hex, I want you to tell me the answer to the question, why?
Why?
There. Now that wasn't so bad. You see what just a little bit of patience can...
Shut up and tell me the damn answer.
Ah. Now let me see.
Well,
Oh, it says... because...
is that all? Because?
Well, it also says... blip, blip, blip. Out of cheese error. Blip, blip, blip.
Because.
Cannot find drive Z. Blip, blip, blip. Unrecoverable application error. Blip, blip, blip. Please reboot universe. Blip, blip, blip. Year of
Please
the
reboot
smoke.
universe.
Blip, blip, blip.
What could go wrong? What could go wrong? Ah. Yeah. Pam, param, pam, 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 para, pam. Oh, that's how it works.
Smoking.
You get sunglasses.
You have to be kidding.
Oh, good old
There
people.
you are, friend. There you are. Now remember, a jingle, a set of novelties. I might be able to do it for you with less, but even that.
Got in my throat. Babe?
I found us our babe, Mr. Dibbler.
Can she act?
Of course she can act. She's a thespian.
Yeah, well, that won't matter.
Thespian.
That's very trendy these days. Fine. Well, consider her
Thespian.
signed up.
I found the band, Mr. Dibbler.
Excellent. Are they good? Do they have the sleek, well-fed look of success?
Forgot to do one thing.
Gods no.
Oh, well, that's the drawback.
Forgot to do one thing.
Here we go.
Novelty? I've never seen the likes of this sort of thing before.
Exactly.
I hate it when logic too.
But can you go and get philosophical on someone else's time, please? Some of us have got a game.
Forgot to do one thing. You don't have the jingle. Ta-dam, bum, 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 bum.
A desert pro. He's
Answer.
Angus, don't put those in there! You know they breed like flies. Oh, they are flies. Well, in which case, bring the popcorn and we'll watch them. Ooh!
Hello? Hello? Look, am I coming to bedtime?
No, lad, no. We're just settling down to a nice evening by the fire.
I brought the answer, you know, to why.
Well done, lad, well done.
It's probably not what you expected.
Yeah.
Out with it.
It's a bit short.
Speak up, lad, speak up.
Well, all right. It's not really very conclusive. It just says because. Then it says, blip, 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 out of cheese error. Blip, 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 cannot find drive Z. Blip, 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 unrecoverable application error. Blip, 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 please reboot universe. Blip, 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 year of the sloth. Blip, blip, blip.
Angus, you were right, you were right, you were right. Angus, stop doing that right now and listen to me.
Normally, I'd hang around long enough to check the goods, but in this case, a frenzied departure might be more advisable.
Have you read Discworld books? Yeah, like I said, I've read those like 10 or 20 years ago. So don't remember everything, but I did like those Rincewind books. I don't think I have read all of them, but like at least like 10 or 15 books from the beginning or something like that. But what is your favorite, Ante?
One prime jingle just for you.
What is your favorite?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Can you get me another one?
What?
Only kidding.
That's it. I think we have everything. The jingle, the
Band.
band, the girl, the novelties. Not to mention that the lead actor's out of makeup and ready to go.
Everybody's ready.
So it's lights, camera, Angstrom.
What do you mean action?
Angstrom.
Oh, well, I suppose so, if you think that's easier. Come on, we've got some filming to do.
Angstrom.
I'm ready for my close-up now, Mr. Dibbler.
Oh, the humor.
All right, lights, camera, Achtung, acting.
Angkor people. I haven't read those. But they say that they are surprisingly good.
Is the winter
Camera.
the
should read them.
the lack of death.
But yeah, like, I think I started to read like those books like 20 years ago when I was like 19 or something like that.
Is the question whether to be extremely cool, reach the heights of fashion, and snuff it,
They were fun.
or to keep drawing breath and lose all fashion sense forevermore.
No.
So, what do you think?
I'm trying not to.
Well, that was fast.
Cue piano.
Piano.
Roll 'em.
Makeup. Now is the winter of our discontent, made all the more drizzly by the lack of death. Ooh, to be or not to be, that's the question. Whether to be extremely cool, reach the heights of fashion and snuff it, or keep drawing breath and lose all fashion sense forevermore.
Ready for the porcelain scene?
Look, can we just discuss this script for a moment?
Roll 'em.
Tiffany aging. Okay. Well, I've checked some sites that basically give the chronological order. But of course, some people say that you should read not the story-wise chronological order, but by how they were released. Because some people say that you can also see how the writing style and skill of Terry Pratchett just gets better by the book.
The heights of fashion and sniffing, or to keep drawing breath and lose all fashion.
Story-wise, yeah.
More.
Okay, everyone. The being smashed by a safe scene. And roll 'em.
Now, look here. Makeup.
Now, Mr. Dibbler, now.
What? What's he talking about?
Nothing, love, nothing. Now look, I've told you before, it'll be far too messy.
Help! I want to see my agent.
All right, now, Depp, stand by for Julian's extra special scene. And cue.
Here, wait a minute. What's all this about a special scene?
Read your script, love. Here, Julian,
Oh, somebody is.
explain how this next bit goes, will you?
It goes whoosh.
Somebody is
Stuff flying.
listening to Jope Ronensu.
Did you not tell our boy that there were special scenes involved?
I'm not doing it.
Why not?
Oh, all right. I'll go and find a stunt double. Honestly, you get some people in front of a camera and they think they're the queen of the maze.
Everybody knows Jope.
Double indeed.
Stunt double bum parada. Green Street Quartz Witches and Dead series. Yeah. I think I've read Rincewind and Witches, but not Cards and Dead. No, sorry, Rincewind and Dead. I didn't read Witches or Cards.
Hello there.
A likely story. That's just the sort
But they had great, great humor.
from you living fascists.
What? I never said a word.
Words, yes, right. That's where it starts. Dead common, dead boring. You've used them. Don't say you haven't.
I'm not prejudiced.
Writing a master thesis on the social hierarchies of Discworld is a pretty serious paper, so I want to lend it some levity by adding a joke about the eunuchs. So if I got the why Blackbird? Why?
That's what we want. So if you
How's it going?
then drop dead.
You and your balls.
Children of the night. So if you want to live it up, right.
Happy Saturday, yeah. Really great Saturday. Why? Boom, boom.
Oh, so you are dead then? I should have guessed from the fashions. All right, in you come, brother.
Nudge, nudge. If you know what I mean.
Just starting. Greetings, brothers
And sisters.
Oh, but we have Boogeyman.
Our newest member,
Rincewind.
Rince Wipe.
Rincewind. Wind.
That's just a touch of gas, brother. Happens to the best of us. Poltergeist? What? Is he a poltergeist? What? Him being a wind and all? Yeah, probably. Any road. Brethren and brother women, let us
Brother woman.
all join in singing our Fresh Start Club anthem. A one and a two. And more pork, and then that stirs the blood. His streets, his thousands palaces, his strangely sticky mud. Let not some wicked foreigner thy noble besmirch, and we will fight with tooth and nails when we can stand and lurch. My friends, have to take death lying down. I see a land where the dead will
Smog is awesome.
alongside the living, albeit most of them propped up or thrown.
Yeah, I was saying that I would like to get those books into my shelf.
Where ghosts can throw off their chains and
Try to find like them on like some kind of sale or used.
throw off his head in pride, then tuck it back under his arm, raise his right hand if he can remember where he
Great.
was, and say, yes, I'm as dead as hell, and I'm not going to
Separate. Separate. On. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, sheep.
Oh, hello. What are you doing in there? Apart from being a quest item, I strongly suspect.
TZIBU raid. Blackbird is going all out.
Oh, I can see your point.
Blackbird is going all out.
If I were you.
Yeah, they're too pricey. I should not check like some used bookstores and places like that.
Oh, I see. The local
I've seen some. There was like
proof that your family is from overseas.
what store it was?
Cheek of some people.
Basically, they sold like the whole, all the Terry Pratchett books
Your case for sheep in the eyes.
in like it's some kind of new release,
From distant climes.
and it was like hundreds of euros.
Goodbye.
But you could get everything.
A film of near. Yes, not the Puma. Here you are. Some evidence that your ancestors came from the land of 4X. Now you can be.
4X.
No, don't thank me.
Well, luckily soon we are gonna get to the best part of this game.
Cue death!
Now is the winter of our discontent, made all the more drizzly
Luckily.
by the lack of death.
The third act.
To be or not to be?
That is, I like that part of the game.
Question. Whether to be extremely cool, reach the heights of fashion, and snuff it.
Oh yeah, Blackbird.
Drawing breath and lose
And Ande.
your fashion sense forevermore.
Check that link and say what is a good NES game on the list.
Fine,
Oh, yeah.
everyone, cut and paint.
Ah, this is more of a lark. Watching someone else work for a change.
That was beautiful, baby. Just beautiful.
Just beautiful.
Wait a minute. Feathers? It was just feathers?
What? Didn't you read the script? It's Julian's special scene.
Ah, showbiz, fame and fortune. I hear you calling.
Oh. Did, did. Odium. Well, that's a limousine. Donkey Cena.
Well, welcome to our audience and welcome to Death, the latest star to rise and shine in the land of Hollywood.
Hollywood.
How do you feel about your up-and-coming premiere?
I don't feel. I am dead.
What he means is that he's confident that the product will speak for itself. That we've got something really astounding.
Hollywood.
Really.
What?
Look, just try to appear less skeletal or something, will you?
Yes, well perhaps you might explain to us just why you feel death is the sex symbol for today's world.
Sex symbol.
Trish, we've always known that the height of style is pure, elegant restraint. And of course, when it comes to wearing black, he's always been...
Sex symbol.
Fabulous, fantastic. Well, that's it from outside the Odeon here tonight. This is Trish Looks Good inviting one and all to join me here tonight and get reaped. Excuse me, do they have those chocolate-coated ice creams here? The one with the little bits of nuts on them?
They only had insect larva flavor.
Insect larva?
Some new invention imported from 4X, apparently.
Insect larva.
When's this clicky starting, then?
Yes, hurry up. Some of us have to get back to bed before dawn.
That's death. Say farewell to all your bills. Rip up all your wills. And pop your final pills. Amen. That's death.
Rubbish!
It's a great movie.
This is appalling.
Ugh. I haven't seen anything this awful since I saw the Dean in the showers.
Great move. Great games. Blaster Master. Fax and I do Power Blades Riker. Have I ever finished Riker on NES? I don't think so. Just a bit different.
If you're not feeling great, then it's the best way to lose weight, mate.
Well, that didn't cut the mustard.
No, I thought it was awful.
Well, in its awfulness, it had a certain beauty. Just as, in beauty, we sometimes see awfulness
Yeah, Blaster Master is a great game.
through from underneath. I mean, sure. We all look at it and say, well, this presentation eats its own young. But I mean, is this a fair assessment? Can we really judge an art piece as being awful simply because it exhibits no attractive or interesting aspects at all?
Good question.
I felt that in many aspects, the film proved to be a very apt, very direct communication.
Oh? Of what?
Well, a communication of just how untalented some clicky makers can be.
Well, this looks like it fit.
Let's do something.
Now I think I'm onto something here. What if I splice in a few shots of the Elven Queen? Sort of subliminal, you might say. That should make them sit up and take notice.
Works every time. Bum, bum.
That's death. Say farewell to all your bills. Rip off all your wills. And your final pills. Amen.
So some elf queen and everybody is all into it.
Oh my, I do say I'm marvellous.
Beautiful.
Mate.
Simply beautiful.
I wish my smell could have seen that.
All your bills. Rip off all
That was better than being alive ever was.
Now, that's what I call real charisma. He'll go far, he will. A real star.
Star.
Oh, shut up. It seemed like a good idea at the time. How was I to know the spectre of death was going to become a pop icon? Now he says he doesn't want his old day job back. Now he's a style setter. Now millions of girls are cramming themselves into undersized, tight, black lace costumes with lots of black lace, all dyeing their hair black, wearing black lace and black nail polish and deep plum lipstick and black lace and being pale and very, very interesting. God, I hate wearing this dress. What do you mean?
So you like black lace?
Well, of course I saw the game's opening credits. I was there. Well, no, I don't think that's a good idea at all. No, it's just not my cup of tea.
What next?
You mean I have to become deaf? Well, I suppose it'll help me make new friends.
Is that easy? Oh, we are gonna be death. Yeah, I did like this. This third act was fun. The idea.
Act 3. The Grim Rincewind.
Hello, Mr. Lassoli. How are you, my good sir? How's it going?
Oh, welcome.
How's your life? How's your Saturday? How's your weekend? How's your life?
I don't need a key to get through.
Yeah, it's really good. Summer is coming. Summer is coming.
Hello.
Who are you? What do you
Oh, good old Albert.
Yeah, that's right. Look, I'm here to become death.
You what?
You know, death. The Pale Horseman. Talks like this. Very big in the hourglass and scythes department.
Gonna play some NES after this one.
Not for long, just until himself gets back. I have to fill in for a while, you know, get the backlog moving, that sort of thing.
Got the faintest idea how to do it, have you?
Well, I suppose so.
We got standards to maintain, mister.
Mister.
There's a pride in our work. I ain't having you letting the side down. Listen, you got to be up to snuff before you can be deaf.
Now, do you mean?
Well, you got to be able to ride the pale horse.
Yeah,
And you
I
gotta
remember.
wear the right clothes. Deaf wouldn't
Night I
be
played
getting anything
Piha
like
Pehmis.
that robe. Yeah, you'll need a scythe and a capital letter voice. Something
Nice, nice. You had a great day, it seems.
more. Get on with it.
Ristiäs. Oh yeah, it's that time of the year.
Quest. I'm just flotsam on the sea.
It's that time of the year.
Stop sniffling and get on with it.
Everybody's making babies. Or getting babies. Nope. Why? Not me.
Oh, I'm not really a golf sort of person. Actually, I'm surprised Death had the time.
You should. You should. Oh, my babies are done. Are they crispy? Crossings. Yeah, maybe crossings gives like a different kind of idea about what is happening. Our first child is having his crossings. Teenagers, oof. Oof. Because everybody remembers that we were so easy when we were teenagers.
No thanks.
Christening, I think it's christening. Crossing would be much better. Christening is different. Kids crossing. Papa. Crisscross. Oh, no! Don't talk about crisscross. That's just scary. Crisscross. Oh, the clothing that they had. Oh. Wait a minute. I don't think this is the right place. Ah, here. Naming. Is it? Maybe the naming is something that doesn't have like a Christian like a idea. Yeah, this is where we go.
Oh, you handsome little sea weevil, you.
Oh.
I'll just sneak a look. Let's see. The last entry is Fool and Chucky.
It's a writing with kids for Christ's sake,
Last
etc.
one hasn't been checked off yet. The previous entry says Scazzy's
Must
Ants.
be.
Well, at least they're all correct in the
Something like that.
Poor little souls. I wonder what this does.
Honk. Aww. Ding dong. Sugar bowl. Yes, I know. Jokke-sama is that kind of stud that even if he just like says hello, everybody gets pregnant. He comes in the room, hello, and everybody's poof, 9 months in one moment. Am I right?
Fascinating.
No more Little Yoris coming out of Little Yori. I think that you are gonna put out a lot of Little Yoris. You yourself. I believe. Morningstar is a weapon. Yeah. Oh, nip snaps. I get you. Nip snaps. Okay. I know what you mean. You had it. What did we do next? 10 years ago. Okay. Well, that makes stuff much easier in many ways. Now we go here. But like I said, Jokresko is so manly man, not even snip snaps helps. It's like he just looks at people and yeah.
It's got the scum. Now we're cooking with charcoal. With this, I really feel the goods.
Yeah, that would be scary. Ugh. Think how much you have to pay like money to people. But I don't even know who she is. But you are the father. I don't know, I've never met her. Pinky.
That's a good Pinky. There, I think he likes me now.
Pinky. Clue. Ah, yeah, I remember that one. But Jokke, that can happen. That can happen. Let's go.
I did it. See? I can ride. I can ride.
Yippee-ki-yay,
Yippee-ki-yay.
I passed the test.
Mofo.
So I see. Shall I
They burned them.
your flesh now, sir, or later?
The trouble with you,
Which works like that way.
sense of fun.
So they cut them and burned them.
My friend.
Well, well. Smell something else. Have to ask, is the smell like nutty?
I'd need a sun. I wonder what's inside.
Had to ask.
Good idea, but not just yet.
The smell was a bit nutty. Burning flesh.
Ow, my back, my aching back.
Maybe it was just nuts. No, not here. Was it here then? Ah, it's here. So a week. I can believe that.
Well, at least it isn't an undergarment this time.
Not sitting or not hanky-panky.
Setting fire to that won't help. Well, this should do the trick.
Once again here. I read back in the 90s, one guy that I used to know from the internet. I think we played Batman together. I remember he was working in Nokia when the Nokia was starting to have the mobile boom. And it was those years that when we started to get like first laser treatments for our eyes. So he went to because he got money. Yeah, he had, let's say he had money because he worked in Nokia as an engineer. So he went and he told about something like that doctor said that you have to wear these bandages and these glasses and don't go in the places that has a lot of heat and moisture and stuff like that. And what did he do on the first night? Went to sauna. Like
Good idea, but not just yet. What a short memory we have. I'll need.
Oh.
I'll just grab some wax.
Good for the bones, my Not so. Now we have the best nut jokes. Okay, please tell me. Okay, what is the best nut joke? Please tell me. What is the best nut joke? Or not so. Not so. Yep.
This should really blacken the water.
Oh.
Now this really is blacker than black.
Automot didn't like for nothing.
Maybe someone's fixed Death's little.
Susan.
And what are we doing in this awful
Yeah.
place, eh?
What are we doing
Daughter
here?
of
Well,
Death.
I'm minding my own business. As for what you're doing, some of us would rather not know. Apart from that, there doesn't seem to be much going on.
Well, I'm trying to be friendly.
Yes, probably not a good idea. I was always told not to talk to strangers.
Well, excuse me. All I thought was, hello, here's another mortal in the land of death, then. I mean, it seemed we might have a few mutual talking points, information to exchange, pleasantries,
That's
something in
how
common, that sort of
granddad
thing.
of
Well,
Death.
it looks as if we buy our clothes in the same shop.
Oh, the stories.
Was there something I can help you with?
Well, it's just...
Half granddad of Death.
I don't know
What would
to
go wrong?
do. I'm supposed to be standing in for death, but I don't know what to do next.
Yes?
Well, what am I supposed to do? I mean, what does a living
You are sick.
dead do
Why
all
are you
the
sick?
time? It all seems dead boring to me.
You'll have to give me a signal when you expect me
Don't
to
worry,
arrive.
Lasoli. We are quite near the end. Then we can play NES.
My, what a lovely
This
toy
sucks.
cart.
You can't have it.
Oh, please.
Oh, all right then. But get me another toy first. One of the autobiographies from the Hall of Records should do. Something to laugh at.
We've done nothing, yeah.
Those are people's life stories we're talking about.
Lasoli is like a
Tragedies,
basic
hopes,
man.
dreams, triumphs,
First he goes
inspirations.
nothing,
How
and
can
then
you
he
possibly find them on music?
loses all
I was
interest.
thinking of yours. That should be a laugh. Just bring it here once you've found it.
Well, what sucks? Nuts.
See you later.
Ah, you suck these nuts. Ah ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ay ay ay. Ah, these nuts. Ay ay.
There. My ongoing life story. Are you satisfied?
Oh, look.
Sexy sana store.
Biography with
That's a catalogue of all my hopes and dreams, all my achievements. You treat it with...
Oh, look.
Oh look.
Your thought for the day.
Ha! What does it say?
Actually, the line is blank.
Give it back.
You're an annoying child.
Don't appreciate quality. Now just tell me something else you'll take in trade. Anything but the story of my life.
All right. Go get me one of the really old biographies then. One of those ones with pictures. They're kept in a locked, dark room somewhere inside.
Spooky. Spooky. Pete.
I'll need to aim more accurate. I'll need...
Some like dead honey that is black. Ant souls. So ants have souls. Now we know. Now we know. That's it. Do you guys drink milk? Nah. Do you?
Very manly. Very.
Do you drink milk? Through his labor. Oof. 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 We have beeswax. How did we make the candle? Yeah, well, used to drink at school back in the day, but you know, as a grown-up, haven't. How did we make the?
Just a bit.
We have the wax, but how did we turn it into a candle?
Setting fire to that won't help.
Ah, like that. Logical. Tin, tin, tin. Sure, it's dark. Tablet. Oh, you have that kind of problem. Seems annoying. Nowadays, I don't know. Because I've been drinking coffee like black, like really long time. So I don't use milk for that. But I can actually eat rye bread nowadays.
But it doesn't even get a chance to scream.
My tummy goes all, you know, haywire.
Well, the cut could be better.
Albert!
Oh, very.
All haywire.
Yep, there we are. Read it and reap, Albert. See? A size.
Oh, we are, Mr. Clever, aren't we? I suppose you've got some idea about how to use it?
Of course I can use a scythe. You just sort of,
Scythe?
Well, I'm sure I'll get the swing of it. It'll just like a bit of practice.
Get a swing of it.
Not inside where your scar might woodwork. Take it outside and reap the field.
So are you like, literally, are you allergic to
You might have enough
milk?
to go and reap some souls.
You know, if I end up in charge, your job is definitely one for downsizing.
I've been drinking coffee like since I was like what 4 years old, something like that. We drank a lot of coffee in our house. We had like, you know, like evening coffee even. That was.
There.
Since 4, yeah, 4,
Are you satisfied?
5, and 4 or 5 years old, something like that.
This one's much better than yours. Here's the cart to
Maybe
take.
5. Maybe it wasn't 4.
Let me know when you turn up in court.
Feels just like a cart, but maybe I could make something of it.
Hmm.
I think I can wedge this in at the front.
I was about to say, but the skin condition doesn't like to move. Okay. Oh. That sounds really, really annoying. I think it was 5 years or something. Get drunk at 8:24, so no. When you get from Finland from Belgium for the first time, about 2 years ago, then if you could stop at the snackery. Meat pie and milk.
I'd need us.
Nice. Kävelee kukkapenkin yli.
You know,
Of course not. But yeah, I know. We drank a lot of coffee in our family. It was like a family thing. Ow. About 6 years. Okay, well that's not nice.
Albert, it is I, Death.
Really, sir?
Booming voice.
Get you back, sir. Now we can get rid of that little prat in the pointy hat and dress.
well, at least I've proved I can use the voice.
30 or something. Yeah. It's really like
I can enter the hat, but
it's a Finnish thing.
Ha! Yeah, I've got you trembling.
Oh, you're gonna strike fear and trembling into blades of grass.
Right, I've ridden the horse, got the clothes, the voice, the scythe, the moves.
Now, hold on. Being deaf isn't like delivering the papers. No. I can't let you go out hacking and slaying wholesale until
Some
you've
milk and wheat.
Start small, mister. Collect 100 souls first, and then maybe you'll be ready to get out there and...
Oh, I just wondering what is similar with milk and wheat.
Couldn't we, just come to an arrangement? Come on, 10 gold pieces says we just,
What does milk and wheat have? What is the
Bribery, eh?
thing that, makes you have that kind of ration?
Would we be if everyone tried that, eh?
Fine, right, well, let's go get 100 lovely souls for Albert and the principle of complicated gaming, eh?
Bye-bye, mister. Don't trip and decapitate yourself on the way out.
Oh.
Ah, the gentleman from the
Keliak.
Assassin's...
Yeah.
Do please come in and abase yourself at the edge of the yellow line.
Let's check.
Now, come closer while I explain.
Ah. Sorry, this is in Finnish, but
Not that
so
close.
there are some people who have the same kind of thing.
Oh, sorry.
Now look, I want someone removed.
Or maybe that's just worst thing.
Troublemaker. Somebody who's become too popular for his, or should I say, my.
People's drink of the day.
And there has to be no way of connecting myself.
I've been drinking this non-alcoholic Bavarian beer
Say no more.
and some red wine.
Subtle hand of doom, leaving nothing but weeping in our wake. For you see, we are the night.
You are? I thought you were the Assassin's Guild.
It's just body's way to tell. Yeah, I had some like
The Assassin's Guild, but we are
I wanted to treat myself today, so I had like Austrian cheese, some Spanish ham, and some red wine from Chile. Ginger wine, nice. Kai punaviinissa alcohol. Yeah, usually red wine has some alcohol. I have to say that they usually, they have made non-alcohol like beers work well, but I would say that they haven't made good non-alcoholic red wines. They're just missing something. That's just basically usually they miss. I don't know. They just taste like
we can send your way by tomorrow.
marjamehu.
No. Now look.
Non-milk diet. I have a bad skin. Maybe it helps somebody.
We are of the night. So we an integral part of the night, without assuming any controlling or otherwise responsible position. So
Yeah, I don't recommend putting milk in red wine.
guardianship of unpaid bills
Or have I ever tried?
will be as a
No, I have not.
facility, a favor to you, my lord, and
Milk and wheat are both the most processed food products. Okay, yeah.
encompasses all aspects of the night. Whereupon
Oat milks. You have I?
pass the bills on to him.
Oh, very well. So, in the meantime, just
Is it red milk?
job, and don't mess it up.
Combine red wine and milk, you get red milk. Or white milk. Oh, I'm full of stupid jokes. In coffee, I mean.
Look, Albert. Look.
Oh, you found the commode.
Well, I know.
No, Albert. I mean, I've managed to collect 100 souls.
Yeah, many people say that they like to use oat milk with coffee.
Must be deaf material.
But I don't know. I usually like the
All your lines.
coffee's own taste.
Go out and reap away to your little heart's content, but you've got to be back before the bell tolls. You know.
I usually even, you can ask from Sika when I go to like buy coffee from like a store, like from example coffee house or something like that, I usually take too many like espresso shots into that. It's like can I have a cappuccino with like 4 or 5 espresso shots extra? Is it a good idea? But I don't know. Usually the coffee that they sell, it doesn't have enough caffeine.
Did a job for you. You're very first.
50 black or white milk, okay.
What's this?
It's a lifetimer hourglass. It counts off the moments of its own.
Well, I haven't usually been into drinking milk. Of course, they gave a lot of milk when we were like in elementary school, but I had a one time. Was it like
Right.
how old was I?
Who does this hourglass belong to then?
I think I was like in high school or something like that, and I really like to drink sour milk, like piimä. Espresso nowadays. Yes, you are hipstery. Hipstery 45. Your new nickname. Sour milk. No, that's pure sour milk. Straight from glass. Has to be like really cold. But yeah, I never liked latte. Just usually just too light. Ruokakermainen coffee. Oh, like thick. I put cream fraiche in coffee. Splurts. Like real men do. Pippurin kerran. That's like my, special day. Congratulations, Chipu, you did something really well. Now we are gonna have like 3 pippurin kerran. Smetana. good old smetana. I like smetana. People don't use enough smetana nowadays. Yeah, we are getting thick discussions. Thick. Well, I do like that one. It's a really fun. I think it's from. Was it from Russia or was it from like Eastern European, like a snack? You take like those. Those like what do they have a different name? But pickles basically. Pickles that are made like with the Russian way, and you have like smetana and you have like a honey, and you dip them.
I didn't think I was doing too badly.
It's really salty. It's really great if you like. Yeah, Russian pickle smetana. It's really great when you like basically drink, have a beer or vodka. Normal pickles, yeah. Pliny, I like Pliny's. Pliny's great. Coffee and smetana, that works.
Maybe taking time off from my job wasn't such a good idea after all.
It's, you know, it's basically because everything else is like really salty. The smetana just, you know, balances the taste. Fermented. I think they are, aren't they? I think they are fermented.
But I can't be the Grim Reaper.
Sure, I haven't tried that. But that sounds good, Netteri.
I don't want to be left holding the scythe.
Nope, I'm slipping, I'm afraid.
Dijon on smetana, nice.
I wish I'd had a mother, because if I'd had a mother, I could cry out, Mother.
Now I wanna pickles.
So I can't. Last.
Milk fermentation.
His last words are, don't point that at me.
Kuvottavaa.
And why is that?
I know, you know, I usually like stuff that is fermented because, you know, it has that. Is the taste karvas or hapan in Finnish?
Which one shall I use?
I think it's karvas.
Let me see now.
I like the taste of karvas. What is karvas in English, by the way? Bitter. Yeah, bitter. Karvas, bitter.
Till death us do part.
The Finnish word is a stupid karvas. It always makes me think about like hairy. Rotten fish. I don't know. I have a feeling that I would like the surströmming. I have never tasted those, but I have a feeling. Rotten shark. That looks awful. That really looks awful. Now let's wait. I've seen pictures of those because those they may taste good. I don't know what they taste like, but they look awful. One neighbor's here. And I'm gonna open the surströmming, you know, at the, you know, next to like neighbor's door. At the hallway, basically.
Hey, look, a canteen.
Everybody's gonna love me after that. Luggage. Taste based is sort of neutral compared to smell. Yeah. I've heard that basically that's why they usually open the can underwater. So the gases that is you know splurts out doesn't, you know, get into your nose. Yeah, I would like to try haggis because, well, basically what is so bad about haggis? It's just, you know, it's just full of like, what does it have? It's made inside the stomach of lamb or Herring, shark and cod. Yummy. Blood and cuts. Well, hey, come on, we have like here in Savo, in northern Savo, we have that what rykysoppa. That's also like guts, blood and guts. That's quite, you know, normal food in areas where in the old times people were dying from hunger. So they used everything they could get from animals. And that's basically a good idea. When you think about it. It's not bad. It's not bad. Not the best, but not like awful. Just, you know, if you like soups. Black sausage is great. I also love it. But you know, when you think about the idea, if you basically you kill an animal to get meat, I would think in an ecological way and ethical way, it would be better to also eat almost everything from it. You know, it's just the way I think. Right? Nowadays, basically, we just eat like the best parts of the meat and not use like everything else. Yeah, I haven't eaten Estonia. Yes, oh, I haven't eaten that, but I have eaten majava. That was funny taste. Well, that's a big one. Beaver. How nettery. Ah, yeah. I knew that somebody was gonna say that thing. People like, yeah. Oh, 3D scene. Yep. We both get points. Yeah, I like liver also. I really like liver. And if you have liver, you have to have like that fried onions. Crocodile. Okay, what does crocodile taste like? I really like I like lobster. I especially like sea creatures. Like lobster are great, prawns, fishes.
Epilogue.
Like squid is great. So crocodile tastes like seafood. Liver and brown sauce, moss, potatoes, and yes, onion. Yeah, it has to have onions. Gator, kangaroo. Yeah. Emu. Can you eat emu? Or kangaroo? Yes, you can. Maybe there are enough of those. Like fish. Okay. Emu to Ahvenanmaa. Ahvenanmaa is well known of emus. Those. Oh, there is a. Okay. So you can buy basically emu meat and chips from Ahvenanmaa. Emu with chips. Why not? I have. Excuse. I have never been to Ahvenanmaa, so I don't. You know. Should visit sometime. Turku. Okay. Nice. Great. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. 20 years ago. 20 years ago. How has life changed? But like I have said, I still would like to get some kateenkorva. That was sweet bread. That is a great scream. Well, yeah, I think that we have a lot of muikkus here. Here's chillers. Oh. Yes, that's right, you know, it's a specialty from Savonia.
I'm not sure whether they spent enough on the script for this.
Last dodos. Turku, why did dodos die? Because of Turku. Thank you, Turku, for this.
The only thing sticky around here is this finale. Get on with
People, all the people who live in Turku ate all dodos. Shame on you, Turku.
Pretty Polly. You can swap minds with this raven, can you?
Yes, I'm very good at it.
Oh, go on. You can't
Yeah,
manage to put all
like I said, you don't usually see it many, at least nowadays,
your avian brain.
in any restaurants. But
Just watch.
when I lived in Helsinki, a couple of times I got it. But I'm a guy usually. I like those. Try to different kind of foods when I can. Whenever I can. Tested in calamaris in East Coast and used it to starting to Ah. Yeah. Eat them. Eat them.
Get your bladders here. Bladders.
Bladders.
Get your bladders here. Only a groat apiece, and even then I'm cutting my own throat.
Bladders? Are you taking the pic? Bladders?
Bladders, my friend, a rustic forerunner of the more familiar rubber balloon, as enjoyed by children.
Bladders.
It's absolutely true. Who says computers aren't educational? Got sheep bladders, vole bladders, moose bladders.
But yeah,
You want a
calamari is
bladder?
straight.
I'm your man.
You know, I believe you.
You can do other things besides blow 'em up, you know. Oh, dozens of uses a good bladder. Although right now, I admit I can only think of
Oysters
one or
are
two.
great.
Well, one really.
All right.
Oh,
I'd like to buy
now I'm getting hungry.
please.
Certainly, Squire. Now then, what sort? We got your rat, your vole. That's the field vole, meadow vole, and the killer.
But I know that
catching
Lasoli's favorite food is
vole. Oh yeah.
chicken
You know the
wings.
ones, 6 feet long, covered in poisonous spines, with
Every day
incisors
he
like
starts his
chisel
day
blades.
with 10 chicken wings
Sweet little things, you
and a
know,
cup of coffee.
brown and covered with fur.
Not these ones, sir. Take your arm off in an instant. They've levelled whole continents.
Has to be.
Obliterated ships filled with puppies, baby kittens, and innocent nuns.
Wait a minute. These look like sheep bladders. It comes to something when a poor sheep is finding its essential organs floating around as kiddies' balloons.
Nah, not on my life.
Oh, you
Cut
don't?
my own throat if I tell a lie. These have been taken from Clatchian voles, a life form so foul,
Yes, you
sir,
do.
so
Don't be like that. You like
so
chicken wings.
putrid and psychotic that the hunters, sir,
But to think that
the
basically I
hunters
don't.
were all awarded medals.
It was basically chicken wings were like
Clatchian voles is like
stuff that they
rabid sharks
threw
on
away
the
back in the day.
Well, that's all right then. In that case,
Etikka.
give me some.
Yeah.
Right, you are, Squire.
I just hope they have time to go to the laboratory.
Is it the reason why they use etikka? Is that it makes the sauce stuck into the meat much easier? Was it like that? Was that the reason? Maybe.
Bladders, get your bladders here.
Bladders. Yeah, that's true also. That is true also.
Bladders,
Cheat sheet. There is the game. Yeah, I do love chicken wings. Yeah, like if you enjoy finger food, it's just great.
What is it now?
Yeah, of course.
The dead are supposed
Sauce
to
is the thing.
rescue
You're basically
It's a fallen
basically
giant woman.
buying the sauce, not the chicken wing.
In my day,
It's all about the sauce, not the wings.
60-foot-tall monsters
Poppa
like
mies.
you apparently get now. And
Have I
I'm
tried
also
those?
pretty
I think
sure
I have.
In my day, they all actually wore something under. Sometime later. So,
Sometimes.
it's you at last, is it? So where do you think you've been?
Sorry, it's been a bit of a confusing week.
Confusing? I've been undead since 10:30 on Tuesday morning. I mean, I wouldn't complain, but I'm not.
I wonder if they just increased like the amount of chickens they slaughter because people want chicken wings more than chicken meat.
Curry before we go. My treat.
That would sound, you know, awful.
All right, he's rather decent of you.
But those are like basic food.
I tried strangulation, drowning, poison, traffic accidents.
They are not, you know,
improvised jazz music.
basic like a food that you can eat.
I was dead, or that the musicians were dead at any rate. How did I finally manage to go?
You got sat on by a
Yeah, they went to garbage back in the day.
Now there's one I never thought of trying.
New grill, nice. Is it a gas grill? Well, naturally, that is business, and people are buying. People are buying. If there is demand, you know.
There's a place you're always welcome. That's as nice as it can be. Everyone can get in.
There is nothing that Jokkesama hasn't korkannut. He has korkannut everything.
No need to take a breath. Just lie around all day.
Who's of pigs and great?
With not a single bill to pay.
Well, naturally,
won!
that's. But they sell that stuff in Europe and in China. Well, in China they eat all kinds of stuff. Kastle.
Have already died. Why not simply join them on the other side? That's death.
That's this.
Say farewell to
Who's
all
of
your
pigs?
bills. Rip up all your wills.
That could taste nice. Horses nostrils. Yeah, that would be a different thing. Later. Nostrils. Does nostrils even have any meat? I don't think so. May contain mucus. Murheet päällekkäin. Awesome article. Siellä on murheet päällekkäin.
All of them are here. And they're all completely dead. No more headaches, no more pain.
I don't even remember.
Millions who died. No one came back to complain.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
So why not just lie back and simply
Oh my.
It's so cool, it's hot.
It's there. Throwing rocks from afar. No.
A real gentleman would never lick himself. There.
Now, it gets someone else to do it.